All right, welcome guys to another edition of Bottom of the Bill. We got Angel and Josue here from LPT. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for having us, bro.
Yeah,
thank you.
I get you guys on finally. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you. Yeah, no, we talked about this for a couple of. It's been a couple of months since we started the conversation about it. So
schedules, man, are wild. You know,
it's
tough.
It was the day after. I can't remember who was on the podcast, but it was the day after we found out that we weren't going to be on the festival.
Oh, okay.
And I got very drunk and very upset that I didn't get to play or whatever.
Oh, okay.
For the good reason and everything like that. I wasn't like.
Did you guys not play that festival?
Oh yeah, hell no. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, we dropped out.
I was gonna say, and then I got so drunk that I got so hungover I called out sick, and then you called me, and it was a 305 number, and I was like, who the fuck do I know from Miami? And then I was like, all right, talk to you, man. Talked to you for like 30 minutes on the phone.
We were chatting for a bit.
Yeah.
Were you tipsy when you were talking to me?
No, I was hungover.
Oh, okay. You were talking a lot, though. Not just kidding.
Well, I mean, I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah,
for
no doubt,
hours,
no doubt.
So.
All right, so before we get started, we just want to mention a couple things. The new single, Jesus Christ. New single is out now, Destitute. You can find it on all the platforms. We've announced the album release on July 30th, and we've got some dates to support. So we'll be at Tuffy's Music Box in Sanford on the 29th of July. July 30th, we'll be at Hooch and Hive in Tampa. And then July 31st, we'll be at 1904 Music Hall. And this is all with our friends Andrew Scotchy and the River Rats from Asheville. So we got some Carolina dates to announce with them coming up soon, but we haven't locked anything in place just yet. We've also got December 3rd at Orange Blossom Review. So make sure you get your tickets for that. They are going very quickly. Hangout Express is going to be at Monkey's Uncle on June 18th. And then I'll be at Lemon Bar on the 19th, and then Firefly Bay on the 20th, just doing my solo thing. So that's what I got going on. You guys got anything you want to promote?
Did they open that Firefly place?
Yeah, as far as I know, I've got a couple days in the books now. Yeah,
congratulations,
so.
and congratulations on the single, gentlemen.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
And the album and all
it.
the hard work. I know it takes a lot of work to get that going.
It has been.
This one took a long time.
You guys ever watch the show Silicon Valley?
No.
Okay, it's a really good show on HBO about like a guy who's trying to start up like an app company in Silicon Valley, and my life has been that show for like the last 6 months. So it hasn't really subsided, but at least the music is getting out.
Right.
And the videos are getting seen, and we're on in the next step. So it's all good problems to have, but it's a lot of work.
Congratulations,
I'm sure you guys are aware.
No, it's a labor of love, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
If you're in this business to get rich, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I was hoping like one day we'd get rich, though, right?
I mean,
no. I quit laughing.
That is.
I want to make some money.
Ultimately, I'd love for that to happen.
That's why we call it side hustle and put a dollar bill in the name. I thought, right?
That's.
Yeah. So the side hustle name, was it because you guys all had different gigs at the time, or
yeah? So like we've said this. It's
by the way, I'm going to interview you guys in this.
Yeah, it's your
you know what I'm
podcast
saying?
now.
It's
LPT
taking over.
That's
I
right.
Like
That's right.
But I was gonna say, yeah, we that was our cover band name, and we originally had the Anton Plume name, and he has like the worst name that anybody's ever had. So we didn't want to be in that band anymore. So we just went by the side.
Anton La Plume.
That's his name. I know.
La
right?
Plume.
La Plume.
La Plume. So the pen.
The pen, yeah.
Anton the Pen. That's a pretty dope name. I'm gonna have to push back on that. That's a dope ass name.
As several people would push back on it, because I've had several people tell me that I have a rock star name.
Anton the Plume.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
You have
Billy
a magician's name.
Billy hates it because he's
great
from
Anton.
Billy hates it because he's from Wilmore, Kentucky. The most
Born and raised,
exotic,
wanna fight about
the
it?
most exotic name he heard growing up was John Smith. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm from Kentucky. I don't know if y'all knew that. Y'all are from South Florida, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm the one outlier here.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's all right.
That's all right, man.
I love South
Kentucky,
Florida.
Bluegrass State, dog.
Yeah, all the way.
All day.
Bourbon, basketball, and horses. That's about it.
We to answer your question, LPT is playing the Don't Miss a Beat Jazz Festival on July 27th. I apologize. July 27th. We're going to be doing that, and after that, we're actually taking. We're going to have some road work. We're going to be on the road for a bit. We're not coming back to Jacksonville till October 17th.
hell yeah. So you're gonna be out for that long, like on the road?
No. We're actually in the process of, and I'm sure this is probably in the questions, but we're in the process of getting the new album out, new single. So we got some work to do. Love it on that kind of stuff. So a lot of the production work, and as you're well aware of, and then we're back in town. We're we've always had tried to at least keep an understanding of where the saturation is for us. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
and how to best manage that for the for people to still be stoked on what we're doing. You know what I mean? And
For sure, man.
You know, so.
That's really smart because, I mean, a lot of bands that don't come from that world of, like, the original music thing and trying to, like, build, like, an actual brand don't realize that you can't play 3 or 4 nights a week in one market and expect to get any further than that.
You gotta understand that people and we've been very blessed with people loving what we do and coming out. And you know, just this past Sunday we played at Intuition Beer Hall at a Salsa Sunday. And
Are you guys doing that every Sunday, or is that just
no?
okay.
See, no, we're not. We're the specific Sundays that we've done it. We really started that during the pandemic.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a once a month thing during the summer.
It was. And then it kind of
COVID happened.
COVID got us.
We did the first one.
We did the first one, and then they shut down, and you know, there was gonna be some continuity to it because we wanted to do it for a specific amount of time. But then, you know, again, COVID kind of clipped everybody's wings. But I was commenting to Angel this past Sunday. I'm walking in, and I'm like, man, I'm still shocked that people pay to come see us. You know what I mean? Like, people are willing to put money down to come see us play. And I mean, I say that in the exactly, in the most beautiful way.
Yeah, totally, man.
Y'all are amazing. I don't know
Yeah.
why it would be
Thank you.
for a second like,
Thank you,
why would
buddy.
anybody pay for this shit? Like,
You know, anytime anybody's spending their hard-earned money, you know what I'm saying? You know, Angel always has a really great philosophy about this. Is we serve the music, and we serve the stage. You know what I'm saying? We
The
are
audience.
the
Servants.
audience. You know, we are servants, and that's something that resonates throughout what we do, which is like, we're out there servants to the music, to the stage, to the audience. And you know, there's grace in that with regards to them being willing to come see us.
Yeah, totally,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And so we put on the best damn show, whether there's 1 or 1,000.
You guys definitely do,
Great
for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
I think there's also, like, a thing where, as I'm sure, like, we all have been in different bands over the years in different situations, and we've all done like the worst possible gigs, and also like with high expectations going in sometimes, and also like the weirdest gigs with low expectations end up being good. But it's like there's this thing when you're doing what you're really passionate about, and then people are actually showing up for that thing.
Yeah.
It's like so many years of just being in the gutter where you're like, oh my God, this is really, like, this is real. I can't believe people are here to see what we're doing now.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Absolutely.
You know, so yeah, I totally get that.
Absolutely, man. You know what I mean? And there's been those. I think we've all done those 4-hour bar gigs when we were young. You know what I'm saying? Where you're just like,
I'm still doing
yeah,
them.
when we were
I'm
young,
still
I was
doing them.
like, we just had one on Saturday.
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah.
I'm still doing them, unfortunately.
God bless
but,
you,
know.
boys.
that's where the big bucks are, though. You play for 4 hours, you get 4 times as much money.
Is that what they're
Yeah,
telling
right.
you, man?
What gigs are you playing, man?
No,
You
we're
get a
not.
gig, man.
We're
Yeah,
not.
what's up?
We're not making any money.
No, we're doing fine.
I'm doing all
We're doing all right.
We're doing
Right.
all
Um,
right.
All right, so I found out before we started that you guys are also from South Florida.
Yeah.
So is that where you guys got started playing music?
Yeah, I did. My folks are Cuban. My family's Cuban down there, and growing up as a little kid playing piano, I would hear the salsa music at the parties, and I'm like, how do they do that, you know? And that motivated me into wanting to pursue, the piano further, and got lucky with my teacher. My mom found me a Spanish teacher, Venezuelan piano teacher that was, did that for me. So that's where I got started.
I was in Puerto Rico till I was about 12.
Okay.
And then I remember my grandmother put me in guitar lessons at the church in Puerto Rico, you know what I'm saying? And, she got me that. She got me a trumpet. She's like, whatever sticks kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying? The guitar stuck with me. I did that for a little while, and then like any kid, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And unfortunately, she didn't have the push to keep me going. But that was where I kind of got started, and then, moved to South Florida at about 11 years old, and went to school there and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, in middle school, realized that I wasn't any good at sports per se. I think I tried out for the wrestling team.
Yeah.
And it was brutal. It was
He's laughing. He's
Yeah.
pointing and laughing.
well, because he probably knows it was brutal. It was. Can you imagine
That's-
me
that's-
wrestling? You know,
yeah,
no,
that's what I'm
absolutely not.
saying.
Yeah, it's just probably the worst idea in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I really wanted to be an athlete my entire life, and I just suck at every single sport. Like,
see,
every sport.
I didn't want to be an athlete,
I
man.
wanted to so bad.
I started surfing when I was 16, and when I was about 15, I picked up the guitar because I wasn't an athlete. You know what I'm saying? And I started writing songs, and like I mean I'm not joking. I started writing songs, and then I got a girlfriend. I was like, oh, okay, so this pays off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. That checks out because 100% that's what happened to me too. Because I was like, I tried out for the basketball team every year, and I'm just.
You didn't have no handle, dog. You didn't have no handle.
I'm great with my hands. I'm just too damn short. Like, it's not happening. And back then I was even shorter, of course. But yeah, I couldn't make any team, and I was just like, fuck this. I'm just gonna do piano and just stick with that. And this is working out pretty good.
Did you
works
take
out.
piano? Like what age did you start doing the piano thing?
When I was like 5, I think.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and then I moved down here to Florida when I was 15 or 16.
Did you have a mean piano teacher or like a strict piano teacher?
I had this like super old lady, like her hands looked like this, like must have been like 75 years old, but she went to Juilliard, like in
Oh,
New York.
nice.
When I moved down to Florida,
Okay.
and she was like, "You're learning Franz Liszt and you're learning Chopin." And I'm like,
Wow,
"All right."
nice.
And I did that until I was
Oh,
18,
yeah.
and then went to UNF, and then dropped out first
Yeah.
semester.
You never finished.
Oh no,
You never
not even
finished.
close.
You
Yeah.
UNF.
Did you Angel? Do you have a mean piano teacher at any point?
I had a stern one to start off
Stern,
with. She
okay.
wasn't mean,
It's always a woman too.
but
It's
she
never a
told
mean-
she laid down the truth, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you appreciated her.
Oh
now,
yeah.
as an adult or
Yeah.
back then?
Back then too.
Yeah.
Like she, you know, it made me think. She wasn't like mean in a useless way.
Right.
Stern.
Yeah. Okay.
Stern.
Okay.
Definitely makes you practice for sure.
Yeah. No, I did not want to disappoint.
Did you go to her
Word.
house for piano lessons too?
It was at the school I was at, an
Oh.
elementary school. I got lucky. My little neighborhood school was an elementary or an arts school, kind of like DA is here.
Okay,
nice.
cool.
Nice.
And I just happened to, that was my school, and I got into piano like immediately, and she, eventually started doing after school lessons, and then in school lessons too, because that was part of the track. So.
And were you guys, when you were discovering your musical talents, were you playing with anybody or like, jamming with friends at all? Or was it just kind of like a personal thing at that time?
I mean, because I was at that kind of school, I had peers, who like we all like, the little piano kids, we were all like, who could learn the first invention, Bach's first invention the best, and who could play the fastest, and stuff like that. And I got to play with like our little orchestra while I was in there, and other stuff. So that environment was crazy. Like, most kids don't get lucky like that.
No, for sure.
So that's where I figured out that. And I was also doing like tech theater and stuff and like TV stuff. I
Nice.
was like, I love all this shit.
That's dope, man.
I think so. When I really got into it at like say 15, 16, I fell in with a heavy crew, man. I've always been blessed that for some reason I've always been like the weakest link in like the heaviest crews kind of vibe. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
mind admitting that at all. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and I fell in with some really good musicians early on. I remember I wrote a song and this cat Paul Williams, man, which was like he was the in your high school he's like the guitarist. Like there's that one cat where everybody's like, yo, that's Paul Williams. You know the vibe. And I wrote a song, and it was probably one of the first few songs that I wrote. And I showed Paul Williams, and he was like, "Yo, that's a good song." And I'm like, "Yo, you think that's a good song?" I was like, I was in heaven. I was over the moon, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna get us a show," And I got us a show, and we played the Coconut Groves Art Festival.
Nice.
Like it was our first gig that I've ever played. The first gig I ever played on stage with a rock band was the Coconut Grove Art Festival. And Paul Williams was on bass and guitar, and I had like all the heavy hitters with me on stage. You know what I'm saying? Pablo Reina, Julio Baez, my boy, was on there, and it was that kind of vibe where it was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? These are the people that I look up to, and I mean, I'll be honest with you, that follows through to this day. I stand on stage with the people I look up to right now in LPT. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome,
Straight
man.
up. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
awesome.
So I've been blessed, dog, musically. You know what I'm saying? I'm very lucky.
Are those guys still playing around down south?
I don't know, man. Paul Williams, I hope so. I hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've obviously, you lose touch with people from high school a lot.
Sure.
Julio Baez and he went to University of Maryland. I went to a school called Old Dominion University in Virginia. And after I graduated, we released a couple of albums together. And that was like my dog, man. We wrote songs together, you know what I'm saying? Learned a lot from him. He was a hell of a guitarist. And he's up in Virginia now, just chilling, doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? Grinding it out and, having a family and whatnot. But still one of my inspirations musically, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he's one of my best friends and still an inspiration musically. So, I hope they are.
Yeah, man. So I'm curious, before we get into all the earlier creative projects that you guys really started to take on, what were like your influences growing up? Like, what was the stuff that your parents were listening to that you were listening to? I mean,
yeah, salsa.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I was in Puerto Rico. My grandfather would turn on Z93, Z93 in the car every time. We listened to salsa music. The first song I ever remember hearing. We all have that memory of where music started in our life. I was probably 4 years old.
Yeah.
And it was Ruben Blades, Pedro Navaja. And I remember that song to this day as the first, what I consider, that was music, right? That was a song. That was a popular song. And I heard that song, and that's always stuck with me. So, and my dad listened to it. My grandfather listened to it, kind of vibe. And that's kind of like what I grew up listening to it, to the point of like almost rebelling as a young adult, you know what I'm saying, as a teenager, like, I'm gonna go to the rock world, you know what I'm saying, because like I've been listening to this stuff the whole time. I'm gonna go listen to rock and roll kind of vibe, you know what I mean, and hip hop and stuff. So
for sure. What about you, Angel?
Kind of similar, the Afro-Cuban, like the soul and stuff. My folks, salsa music wasn't always on at the house. My mom says that salsa music is, it's for dancing, it's for parties.
Yeah.
Just, and I'm like, whatever, Mom, But, I was hearing a lot of that stuff. My dad has this Trio Matamoros CD that was like one of the first burned CDs ever.
Oh, nice.
That one of his friends made it, man. I used to like that. Yeah. And, I was influenced by a lot of like punk and like ska stuff that was going on around my friends in high school. But I also had like my best friend that I was musically growing up with. He was learning to play bass, and his family was this Puerto Rican musical family, amazing. And so me and him and like his brothers and stuff like just started, I was just like eating up salsa, like just all, and we're burning CDs, right?
Nice.
So it's just like, check out this mix, and like check out the,
Nice.
And that, like I said before, that hearing that stuff and trying to emulate it was like what pushed me to like want to study jazz more and get deeper into the keyboard and music in general. So yeah, that's that propelled me into wanting to go to listening to jazz, studying jazz, going to UNF and getting to study there, and yeah.
Did you finish at UNF?
I did finish at you.
Good
Never
for
finished.
you, kid.
I did.
Our drummer did too. Well, all 4 years you went there, or how many years?
I did in 4 years.
Yeah, oh my god, dude! I've never heard of.
Yo,
That happened.
LPT is a pedigreed band, dude. I think
you all got degrees?
I think everybody's
You're like
degreed.
Boston?
No shit.
Yeah, man, everybody went to college and shit.
I went
got
to
degreed
college.
and finish.
Wow.
No, finish.
Yeah, you gotta say that. I went
Finished.
to college.
You guys are closers.
Yeah, there's a lot of closers.
You guys are closers.
There's a couple of cats in there with master's degrees. You know,
I'm-
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm starting pitching. I'll get to 6 to 7 innings then, but I'm not staying around.
I went. I didn't go to school for music or take lessons at all, but I did go for a couple semesters at Miami-Dade College at the Wolfson campus downtown.
Wolfson, that's a
And
fun campus.
I love that campus, man. I really felt like it was a pain in the ass driving there every morning because it was like an hour and a half drive with traffic, from Pembroke Pines. So, but I mean,
Broward Community College is like right down the street from me, right?
I wasn't about it, bro. I didn't want to go to BC. I wanted to go to Miami-Dade because I was just like I need to be in Miami as much as I
it's
possibly
Broward College
can be.
now.
It's a Broward College
It's
now.
BC now. Yeah, it's Broward College.
I think it's like
It's not BCC, dude.
Oh, it's not. Dude,
not
I'm old.
anymore.
I'm
Not
old.
anymore.
I'm
Yeah,
old.
that it's
That's all gone. There's
Oh,
no more community
MDCC.
college.
Remember when it was MDCC?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Was it called MDCC?
Back in the day.
When I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
on there, it was just MDC.
Yeah.
Oh man, so I'm a little older than you, dog. It was MDCC back in the
No
day.
shit.
Miami-Dade Community College.
That makes
dude.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I remember when it changed. I think I was in high school when
When it changed, I'm so much older than
I did a
Hey,
couple
viejo,
semesters.
viejo.
Yeah, I'm old, man. I'm old.
I did a couple semesters there, and I was like, I'm done with this because I realized that I wanted to play music, and I wasn't good enough to get into a music program at the time. So I just was like, I said screw
Yeah.
it and just.
Yeah.
But I was playing with a lot of guys that went to like UM and all that stuff, and
Nice.
they were all great
Frost
players.
School was fantastic.
It's amazing,
I mean,
man.
it's a fantastic program.
And
Dennis Marks was
Dennis
know.
Marks was there.
he
Yeah,
was out there,
He was-
dude, killing it.
That was my bass player at the time. That was his private teacher.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, man. So I was playing with those guys, and they all really kicked my ass. I mean, not in a good I want to impress way, more in like a you suck, and we're not going to play with you if you don't start getting better type way.
Yeah, it made you work.
It made me work.
That's a good. That's why anybody you got to surround yourself with better musicians.
Totally, man.
You got to.
I
That's what
bought-
that's what I do.
There you go.
I was being sarcastic. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, man. I mean, I bought music theory books, and I started teaching myself at least the basic stuff. So now I can at least have a conversation and know,
Sure,
what's,
sure.
or at least communicate an idea, without sounding.
I think you know
completely
better
illiterate.
music theory than I do, and
I think I
I've
do,
been
yeah.
learning since I was 5. You know what I mean?
I think I do know better.
I don't know
than
how
you
you did
do.
it so fast. 'cause
My
never-
son is 8 years old.
Yeah.
And he's been taking piano lessons since he was
That's
6.
a great age. Yeah. 8
And
years old.
every once in a while, it hits me of just how much he's wrapping his mind around theory.
Yeah. They learn so quickly at that age.
It's
insane.
fantastic.
it's
And
the
you
best
kind of
time to
like,
do it.
and he'll bring something up and it'll kind of make me have to dust off my, understanding of it to be like, wait a minute, let me wrap my mind. Oh, okay, yeah, this is what you got to go, this is where you're at kind of vibe. So.
Hey everyone, just wanted to take a second to talk to you about one of our favorite music venues, Blue Jay Listening Room. Blue Jay is a space for true music lovers where every ticket is a backstage pass. Silence your cell phones, enjoy a nice glass of wine or craft beer, and be part of an intimate experience unlike anywhere else in Jacksonville. Hear national and local artists sing their original songs and share the stories behind them in a space carefully curated for the premier show-going experience. I personally have seen some of my favorite shows here, as well as having played with some of my heroes. Not only is Blue Jay a wonderfully unique experience, it has become a staple in the Florida music scene. Mention Bottom of the Bill on your next visit and receive 10% off your tab. Blue Jay is located at 2457 3rd Street South, Jacksonville Beach, and be sure to check out www.bluejayjacks.com for news, ticketing, and events.
So I was gonna ask you about your singing background and everything like that. When did you start singing? I don't know the question.
Yeah. How do you do that? How do you do that?
How do you
How do
do
you do
that? 'Cause everybody can sing, but I can't do it very well at all.
I don't know if it's genetic or not, but so on my mother's side, there have always been salsa singers and salsa performers. My tío Efraín, my tío Perfecto, my grandmother, Iluminada, her name was Illuminated, called her Lula. They were all singers. Tío Robert, these are people that all, in my mother's side of the family, they were all musicians, and they all had bands and all this kind of stuff. And there was always music on that side of the family, you know what I'm saying? There was always like bands and performances, to the point that, and this is a fact, my mother only recently accepted me as a singer, as a salsa singer. I mean, and I'm talking about, I'm
wow.
44 years old.
Right.
And she only recently, in the last, like, say 2 years, was like, okay, you're good. Because in her mind, it was a very detrimental career choice.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she saw her uncles and all these people and that were like involved in singing and salsa and all that kind of stuff, and it was a bad scene, to her, and that's kind of like, if there's any genetics in it, that's kind of where it came. But really, singing came out of necessity for me as a kid, when it was like I would write these songs, and I had to sing them. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where it came out, and just kind of just going for it, and having a little bit of something on that, and moving on from there.
Well, you're a really great singer. Do you have any
Thank you,
advice
brother.
for Anton?
Warm
I've
up.
already checked out. I'm not good. I can't do this.
Do you warm up?
I do if before
He doesn't
like
sing. You warm up playing guitar. You don't warm up singing.
not for like most
I've never
of the,
seen you do that in 4
not
years.
for most of the bar gigs that
He's
we
gonna lie to
do.
you. He's gonna lie.
But no, I'm not lying.
You are lying.
I'm not lying because I don't warm
I can see
up
y'all
at
spend a lot of
gig.
time together and shit.
Oh, it's annoying actually.
I am annoying. I know.
I don't warm up before like a lot of the bar gigs, which I should because they're 4-hour gigs. But
Brutal.
But before like an original show, if we're playing like at 1904, doing like a ticketed thing, yeah, because I do it at home, right? So it's like
you warm up 2 hours before the gig.
yeah, or I'll like do it on the way to the gig and do
Yeah.
in the car or whatever. With the guitar, I'll sit there all night before, like right before the set. I'll just have the guitar in my hand, just noodling until I can get my fingers warmed up.
Same thing with vocals, man. I mean, you got to warm up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
You gotta do it.
You have to warm up.
It
and
sucks when you don't.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
have to warm up, and you know what I'm saying. If you got to have a routine, and it's something that I've developed with LPT. It's just I have my routine, and 15 minutes before I go on stage, I excuse myself from wherever I'm at, and I got a warm up that I put on my earbuds, and I go and I find a space where I can, belt out a warm up. You know what I'm saying?
Because that shit is not the most flattering thing for people to hear. You
Oh
know
no,
what I
yeah,
mean?
you're warm up.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I use this one. So, Jay Maestro, who is an amazing singer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys know Jay Maestro.
Why does that name sound so familiar?
Stono Echo.
Stono Echo, and he was been in a lot of bands. He's a local. I mean,
Okay.
he actually just finished a master's degree in vocal conducting at UNF, and I mean, the guy's like, I mean, to me, he's vocally, he's just.
Is his real last name Maestro?
It is for you.
I like that
He's
answer.
meant to do that.
Jay Maestro, man.
It is.
No, but he turned me on to some really good warm ups. You know what I mean? Like I've taken some lessons with him and taken some coaching with him. You know what I'm saying? So he turned me on to some good warm ups, and it makes the difference, honestly. Not only that, see, because it's when you're warming up vocally, like anything, or even instrumentally, you're not thinking about that night. You gotta think about the next night, right? Because if you're on tour, you gotta sing 3-4 nights in a row. You gotta think about night 3. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about night 4, where you gotta be able to deliver. You know what I'm saying? And voices, if you're not doing it right and you're not singing correctly, man, that'll go real fast, man. You know what I'm saying? That'll go real fast.
You ever see the Freddie Mercury warm up videos that he used to do? And those are the best. You're just like, you have to warm up. I guess because you're the best singer in the world ever of all time. So he's got to warm up too.
Yeah.
His warm ups are just ridiculous. Yeah. What do you do? The me moo 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 that he was saying.
I use this thing. I'll drop the shout out.
Share it with the world.
I'll share it with the world.
Share your secrets.
It's it's called the West End Warm Up, and it's a little 10 minute video on YouTube. Look up West End Warm Up.
West End warm up.
West End Warm Up.
West End. Okay,
yeah.
got you.
And
Like
this is
West End, England, sort of thing.
so this is English woman, and
Yeah.
she's on there, and she go, and I mean, I got to memorize. I can literally sing it to you from top to bottom. And she goes, "Welcome to Vaba." And she goes, "Welcome to Vaba," and you go off that. So Jay Maestro turned me on to that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a game changer. And I mean, like I said, I've done it so much because you know what I'm saying. Every night, when I'm singing, that's what I'm listening to. That or when I'm in the studio, whenever, that's my warm up piece. And it's good because it kind of just stretches your range out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Just to
yeah.
get a little technical, it kind of makes you get up into your the upper reaches of your range.
So I know you said genetic, in your family and everything.
Sure.
I think all these singers, but like, how do you get better at singing?
Shit, man, how you get better at anything, dude?
But you just practice it.
practice, yeah.
I don't know. I've been practicing for a while. I don't think I'm gonna get
Well,
any good.
you know what it is that you haven't sat down with a vocal coach and had anybody show you the right way to do it.
Which way did you sit down with a vocal coach?
I have sat down with vocal coaches.
Oh, damn it.
most singers have because
Yeah, I'm sure they have. Yeah, I mean, like, unless you're like self-taught, but who does that?
But
anymore?
even at a certain point,
Yeah.
though, if like singers that you've heard sing,
Yeah.
if you've ever heard them sing like on a national level, they may have been born with a natural gift,
Yeah.
but they all sat down with a coach at some point because that you better believe that the label's investing that money.
Yeah.
They're gonna make sure that you have a perfect show every single night.
So that's you mentioned the point of gift, and I'm curious about what you have to say about this, Angel. So my wife is a very naturally gifted singer. She's not taking any lessons. She's not taking, but the tone and timbre of her voice is fantastic. Like her, she has, she has something that I don't have. I have to work to what comes to her naturally. So,
Right.
I mean, I think that there's certain people that are born, and Angel, I'd love to hear what you think about this. There's certain people that are born with an aptitude and a quality of voice, right?
Well, sure. I mean, the voice is the original instrument, first off. I mean,
Yeah.
forever, right? And, I mean, yeah, some people are just having better sensitivity to what it is to make a nice, beautiful tone, and their voice just,
Sound.
you know.
Physically, they can feel that thing better
Physically,
than people.
I feel, with people who just can just do that. Recognize, pitch, not as like ABC or, whatever, but what sounds consonant, what doesn't. All that stuff we develop because we hear it already, like
Right.
the rules of what sounds good and what doesn't.
Sure.
That's because it either does or doesn't, so.
Have you seen that video of that kid that can somebody's playing 10 notes and he's just listing all of them off like that, like the insane.
Oh, man, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that one, but there are a lot of aliens out there, man. They
Right.
it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
But that's got to be genetic, right? That's something that you can't learn. I mean,
You
can
can
probably learn,
you
but,
can learn
he's
that
like
kind
8
of
years old
thing,
doing that,
but
you know what I mean?
yeah, and I mean, someone had to show that kid that this note is an F.
Right.
He's not born.
Yeah, that's true.
But that kid has more of a sensitivity for that note sounding different from all the other notes.
Would you say that kid might have perfect pitch?
If he can recognize the note, then that's what they call it.
Oh,
Getting
Bill.
on topic, because what I really wanted to get at is I just want one singer to be like, no, you can't learn it. It's all natural.
Yeah,
Just one
it's
time.
all
That's
natural.
all I want. It's just one time, and I'll be like, okay, good.
That'd be the
Finally,
most
someone's telling me
pretentious
that what I've been
person.
thinking my whole life.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'll ever get
Bill,
good.
it's all natural, brother.
I feel like
got
I
it.
can hit the pitch.
I'll hit that for you.
I can hit the
Just give him what he
pitch,
wants.
but it doesn't sound good. I don't have the natural, like your wife, you said, has a great
Some
tone
people
and
have
timbre.
great, yeah. Some people have a great, just have a great sound to
Yeah.
their voice, and I mean, we're all our worst critics, and I'll be I'm always my own worst critic.
Yeah.
I'm always the one that's always like, ugh, like, God, you're singing again, guy. You know?
There's no, I can't imagine
'cause you-
that,
no,
but I mean,
seriously.
because you have a great voice.
Thank
but
you,
I mean,
man. Thank you.
But I do agree with you that I think that a lot of people have to work for that talent. Just because there's some people. Like music is something that you hear, right? Like to be a musician doesn't mean necessarily, in my opinion, mean that you have to be able to play an instrument. Like you can actually just be able to hear music, and your ability to use a tool to get that out hasn't been facilitated, or hasn't been honed in, right? Yeah. But maybe you just hear music in that way. Yeah. Some people are naturally gifted in the way where they can just move their fingers around a fretboard. That skill's easy for them. Or sitting down at the piano or they hear the sounds like that comes easy for them. For most musicians, though, I don't think that's the case. I think most musicians have to really work for that ability. Like for me, moving my fingers around the fretboard is not so easy. Like I watch guys that play guitar, and you can tell they just get it. Right, physically they get that thing, and they hear everything. It's like the perfect storm. Yeah. A lot of people have to work a little bit extra to get those things.
But would you say
Everybody
that's
can.
true about anything? There's mathematicians out there with the math makes sense. There's
totally.
engineers out there with the physics makes sense. There's I think that that can be said about anything, and I've always believed that anything can be raised to an art form, even business or whatever it may
Totally,
be.
yeah.
There's an art form behind it all if there is if it clicks for you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes some people have different things that click for them, and it's and the rest of us have to work hard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure,
And
for sure.
just, get on it, and you know what I'm saying, out hustle the competition. You know what I'm saying? Outwork them.
That's what it is,
You know what I'm
100%. What do you think, Angel? Were you just naturally gifted at the piano? or-
No, man, I've had to work real hard. I still work hard and view myself, and I think it's important to remember that we're all works in progress,
For sure.
I mean, certain things made sense, but it's just, that's all. I've always, had to work, and always looked up to people that it came real easy to, and tried to pick their brains,
Yeah, man.
learn more. I love learning about the keyboard music, expanding what I know, and that's what I try to tell my students, that music is it's a lifelong kind of commitment if you want it to be. And when are you going to be good? Who knows? Never.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that question, when am I going to be good? I'm like, I don't know. So, you know, if you can look at it like that and not such as an instant gratification thing, and, you know, every time you play out, every time you do something, you hopefully did it better than the last time you did it. Or if you didn't do it better, then why, and address those things and learn, and, you know, so that's kind of how, yeah.
There's a lot of people that ask me the questions like, so when did you say you got good, or when did you learn how to play guitar? It's like, I'm still learning every single day. And if you ask me when I got good, I'm gonna tell you I haven't gotten there yet. Because you know what I mean? It's just like, it's constantly just learning new things. You're always gonna see somebody that's like ahead of you in those things, and you're always gonna aspire to be not necessarily them, but at least at that level of understanding and playability.
And people are constantly innovating, and I mean, you know, like it's a cool thing if you accept it to be that way. Now, if you get crabby about it, you're like, everybody, you know, I suck and everybody's better than me, then you're going to put yourself in a bad hole.
Totally.
But, you know, you just got to work your way into that massive network of knowledge, you know, and, just constantly learning.
Yeah, 100%. So I want to ask you guys about starting LPT and what kind of led to, what was the inspiration for the band?
I'll start it first.
Go for it, dude.
Because me and my dear friend Mylan, all good. Shout out.
I love Mylan, man.
Team Malero here in.
Talented dude, man.
Oh man, what a guy. So we had a little bit of a Latin thing going on. It was actually at UNF. I think it was our second semester. You know, because I came from South Florida. I was like salsa, like, you know, and we got some folks together at UNF. He was learning to play timbales, and we would sit around and listen to, you know, Tito Puente albums and Cachao albums, you know, and we were eating that stuff up together, which was really fun. And then so we started that. That lasted for the semester. It was like, school's too hard. I can't keep doing this. And you know, like, I always wanted to do it again at some point. And, you know, take it outside of school. And so that was always in the back burner. And then me and him got involved with Joe Shuck, and we became a part of Antique Animals, which is a local band here for a while. And that's where him and I met.
Yep.
You can take over there.
I see these guys play. I've been in town for a week. I moved up to North Florida. I've been in town for a week. I go see a show that JP Salvat, shout out, the connector.
Yeah, he connected. Yeah, because he knew Mylan.
Yeah, that's
and
the
we
connector.
got together.
JP knows everybody.
And then,
he owns Paco's Coffee on Southern Roots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out.
So I've been here a week. I go see Antique Animals play. I'm blown away. I mean, it is good. It is beyond good. It's a fantastic band. You know what I'm saying? I've told you this before. I love it.
It was fun.
We're standing outside a Burrow Bar. Rest in peace, Burrow Bar.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And I go, man, you're from South Florida. You're Cuban, and this guy's Dominican. This guy's Colombian. And I go, you know what we should do? We should start a salsa band. And I threw it out there. Something I've always wanted to do.
2011. That was 2011.
It was 2011.
On the side of the road.
Side of the road. And I was like, yo, we should start a salsa band. And thinking in my head that these guys that just got off stage, who I'm like, yo, these guys are fantastic. We're going to be like, man, whatever. You know, Angel's like, yeah, we should. And I'm like, oh, snap. Like, yo, he's into it. Like, you know, like, damn, you know. And it kind of percolated for a little while from there. I think we finally got together to rehearse some stuff like in 2012, I think maybe 2013. Or it took a little while.
It took a little while, maybe.
It took a little while to get together. These guys were living in Riverside, and we got together. And we kind of, we got together for a couple of weeks on Sunday afternoons in their apartment. And you know what I'm saying? It was like 6, 7, 8 of us, and we just get in there and we just jam. You know what I'm saying? I was playing bass at that time for LPT, or it wasn't even LPT at that time.
It wasn't, yeah.
It was just people jamming.
Here we are.
Really?
Here we are. And then, me being me, that kind of died out, right? It was like, it happened. It was fun. It kind of.
We were having fun, yeah.
It kind of, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of like, there was no direction to it. It was kind of like, all right, it kind of like ran. And then I was like, in my mind, I said, if I get us a show, we'll have to play. right? It's like it's goal oriented. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So JP had just opened Southern Roots in Riverside, and I said, "Yo, we're gonna play on a Sunday." You know what I mean? And like he's like, "All right, let's do it." So I was like, "All right, we got a show. Like now we have to.
We have to rehearse.
We have to rehearse." And we did, and we got a set together, and well, what do we call ourselves? You know what I'm saying? And that's where LPT came from.
LPT.
You know what I'm saying? And
So I know you guys don't like publicly say what it means. Can I take a stab at it though?
yeah, go for it. Let's hear it.
It's the Latin people time.
It is.
That's it.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Lo Pollo's Trabajo.
No, man, not that. Dog.
we want
Chicken
you.
work, right?
We want you to. We want you
Stupid. I
to
was thinking
create
about
your
that.
own. No.
No, it's Latin
it's
people.
fun.
It's Latin people time, and
We moved to a different beat. Or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
It's just kind of like
Like 5/4 sort of situation. What are we
Well,
doing?
it was kinda like
not
a-
that weird.
just kind of like it's like, hey, when is rehearsal time? Hey, man,
Oh.
we're not on LPT. Everybody be there at 8. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of vibe. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And that's where it kind of got started. And
I didn't know that until I think he told me about it like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, really? That's what it is?
Yeah, man.
That's
and,
awesome.
we have only recently really embraced the story of it. We kept it nebulous for whatever mystique
Well,
or
it's
whatever.
fun. It's good marketing.
Hey,
Yeah.
it worked out, and we heard some real nasty things. Like people are freaky out there, dog. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? Oh,
For
man.
what LPT stands for.
For what
right?
LPT
Yeah,
stands
yeah,
for,
yeah.
like.
Oh, it could
and-
be, yeah.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Some of the nastiest things I've ever heard from people's mouths were like older Latin women.
Oh yeah, bro. For
And
sure.
I was just like, yo, that's okay. That's what it sounds like for right now.
Yeah.
No, but so that's kind of where, we needed a name. That's where it kind of landed. And we played our first show in 2014, summer of 2014. But our first official show was in 2015. And that's kind of like when it was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We were established. We kind of like, we had a show. It was January of 2015. And it was Colleen, a good friend of ours, was having a benefit. And we played a benefit show for her at Rain Dogs.
Okay.
A punk rock club. Remember, you've been
Yeah.
to Rain Dogs?
Oh,
It's and that kind of started our love affair. They gave us our first shot, kind of started our love affair with Rain Dogs. And from there, it kind of took off, man.
Yeah, we did. What did we do? Thursday. It
We
was
were
on-
doing third Thursdays
Yeah.
every month for a while out there,
Yeah.
which is a weird night to play, and we loved it, you know what I'm
That
saying?
place is weird. So it's like,
It's
they
fantastic.
have
Dude.
everything there.
Is
Yeah.
that honestly that is what we consider that's our spiritual like birthplace.
Yeah.
Because we had amazing shows out
It's
there.
your whiskey go-go for the doors.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll
Yeah.
take absolutely. You know what I mean? And it's a small room and low ceilings, and it got hot.
It got hot back there.
Yeah. It
got
It's so
hot.
much fun.
I've never seen a show there before. Because I walked in there before. It was like I moved here like height of pandemic. I was like, all right, and then
Yeah.
so I still haven't seen a show there. But it's very hot and awful.
We
still, or-
played our last show before the pandemic officially started. And we did a
show there.
last minute show there on a Sunday night with
Yeah.
Zeta.
with a band from South Florida called
Yeah.
Zeta. Yeah.
Zeta.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Venezuela, a bunch of cool cats, man. Super
Yeah.
nice guys.
I
But
think I've
yeah,
seen them before.
you know,
Yeah,
we
they're
they gave us a shot. They were like, absolutely. And it was for us, you talk about the start of LPT. LPT started not only because we wanted to play music that we grew up with and that we felt was missing. And that's not to say that there weren't other acts in the area that were doing this kind of tunes. There were, you know what I'm saying? We felt like we had something music we wanted to hear, right? We wanted to feel.
And share with our friends,
And
too.
share with our friends, exactly. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, you know what I mean? So as much as LPT was a selfish endeavor about wanting to hear play cool music and share it, it was also, about building these bridges, man, and going into a Rain Dogs, a place that was super unexpected,
Yeah.
and playing salsa music, and the place getting packed to Riverside cats, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
totally.
And it would get bananas in there, dude.
Yeah.
It was honestly some of my favorite memories so far, because it would just be like, I remember when at one point in time we would be so excited, we'd post a show on Facebook, and if like 40 people shared it, we'd be like, oh my God, fantastic, and I mean then all of a sudden that started getting really big to the point where nobody else fit in the room.
That's awesome.
And we
Yeah,
started
people
seeing.
couldn't fit in there.
Always some place sold out shows. It doesn't matter how big the venue is.
That's right.
It said sold out. It looks
sold
good.
out.
And well, I think the one part that brought it home for me was when I started seeing people talking about like, yeah, I'm going to the LPT show. I know where to stand so that I can get air conditioning. And like that was that was such a fantastic thing. Like, yo, you know, people are planning in advance to come see us, but like if you stand here, you get AC and dance. But then you know what I'm saying, like, and it was live.
I can't remember who gave me the quote one time of like on one of our Rain Dog show.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I went to the back door, opened and like 4 girls fell out."
Hey man, that's good.
Yo, it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful time. It was great, and they were very kind to us, and still have always been kind to us.
Still
you know what
is.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Still. And we outgrew the room, and we moved to the next room, and we outgrew that, and we kept going. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like, you know, people kept coming, and honestly, and to Angel's point, man, we serve the music, we serve the audience, man. You know what I'm saying? And that, I think any musician, you know what I'm saying? It's like if they don't show up, man, you know what I'm saying? Then what are you doing, man?
What are we
You know
doing
I'm
this
saying?
for?
What are you doing it?
For
Like,
sure.
You're doing it for yourself. Like, you know, you can do that in your house.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think it's pretty cool, though. I'm not from Jacksonville, so I don't know what the market was like for like salsa bands here before you guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is cool to see the success of what you guys have done in this city, because it really kind of does show the openness or the desire for people to want to accept new things into their societies, you know.
Absolutely.
Like down south, the majority is Latin, right? That's
Yeah.
just what it is.
Yeah.
But in Jacksonville, it's very much the opposite here.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you guys have been so accepted, and the music has been so accepted, and it just really shows where
Dude,
people are at.
We sing 100% in Spanish. We don't sing in English.
Exactly, and your
And-
crowd, your
and-
shows are sold out.
And people come out. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And that's a testament to people just love the groove. And, you know, music doesn't have an owner, man. You know what I'm saying? If it makes people move, it makes people move. And
Yeah, it's a dance party. Who
You know
doesn't
what I'm
like
saying?
that? If you don't like
Yeah.
salsa music, like what's
you know, and well,
like, you don't like dance? Okay, whatever. You
so
like dancing.
we've translated our lyrics. They're all online. You know what I'm saying? People can tap into them because, you know, we're also trying to say something too.
Yeah, of
you know what I'm
course.
Yeah,
saying? And
totally.
there's a if we can make you dance and make you think at the same time a little bit, then we've succeeded. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
So we put some thought behind what we're saying. We're not out there, you know. I mean, there is a wonderful place in the world for people that just want to go out there and dance, party, dance, party. That's a space that they get to fill, and I'm glad they do it. LPT is saying something, man, and we're trying to say something. You know what I'm saying? With every time we get on stage, we honor the ability to get on stage and have a microphone in front of us, you know, and have something to say. And I think that's just mad important. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the ability to say something in front of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you need to honor that. You need to be respectful of that energy and that power. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we've always been conscious of, and I'm very grateful that we've always been conscious of that.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I actually didn't get turned on to salsa music till much later on. My dad was born in Cuba and came here at a very young age. So he.
Pero cubano.
Yeah, but I don't speak Spanish
No
anymore.
habla español.
No.
No.
Estoy aprendiendo español.
Un poquito,
No,
pero
habla.
es muy malo.
Little bit.
Está bien.
I can't say it.
But yeah, so my dad kind of very similar to your situation, where kind of rebelled against a lot of that stuff growing up, and got, you know, Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, and like got more into the rock stuff and
Beatles.
well, I'm just saying, like,
I'm
you know,
rebelling with the Beatles.
well, you know, it was very counterintuitive to what that
I
culture
get it.
was
I'm
doing
just
at that
kidding.
time, you know.
It sounds funny when you say that
like
out loud.
my dad would come home with the long hair and the beads and all that stuff, and his parents thought he was a communist. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
coming, so it was like,
Sure.
so it was very
Dad
rebellious.
still thinks I am. No, sorry. I'm not.
So yeah, anyways, I grew up listening to a lot of that stuff, and it wasn't until later on that like when my stepmom came into the picture. She's from Venezuela, and she showed us a lot of like the more Latin influence music, and I became very, because I was already kind of playing music at that time, so I was very appreciative of the different approach, you know, and salsa music in particular. I mean, like the rhythms, man, are insane.
Venezuela, there's tremendos salseros in Venezuela. They don't play around.
Yeah.
Colombia, Venezuela, Peru. I mean, these people, these are countries that are like, Cuba is in Puerto Rico, and these are the birthplaces of of a lot of these Afro-Cuban rhythms. But there's so many countries in Central and South America that are just like, yo, they're vested. Like right now, I would go on a limb and say that Colombia is the heart of salsa right now. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where the heart is, because they're the biggest salseros in the world, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you gotta, if you're playing salsa, you gotta go through Colombia.
Really?
And if you don't, good luck, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I didn't know that. That's wild.
Yeah, man. You know?
But yeah, man, and I started getting like Tito Puentes and all that stuff much later on.
Sure.
But I mean, man, like that shit is like the rhythms is what got me. You know, like the bass lines are like not really on the one, but are somehow still keeping the groove. And like all this, it's just like it was a whole different world for me, and
Yeah,
I've really
no
grown to really love the whole genre of music. You know.
No doubt.
But yeah, man. So, what was I gonna say? I had a question that I was gonna ask, and I can't remember right now.
I always wanted to know like what the root of salsa and everything like that. Is that it originated as like folk music, or I guess it just evolved into like something crazy?
Oh, buddy.
Well, salsa is like a form, first off.
Right.
It's like a structure, and then inside of that structure, you have like a palette of different rhythms that come from Cuba, Afro-Cuban rhythms, and from Puerto Rico too, Afro-Puerto Rican rhythms. So salsa is like a unifying form. There's verses, there's choruses, there's shout chorus, there's whatever, the mambo sections. There's all sorts of different sections, and in the end, you create this like very formulaic, like dance situation, But the roots of it are those Afro-Cuban rhythms and the marriage of the African rhythms that the slaves brought over to Cuba and to Puerto Rico, and then the Spanish influence of the troubadour, of the singer with their guitar, and then eventually the development of the Cuban tres, a little guitar, and the cuatro in Puerto Rico. Yep. You get son music, you get the jiwaro music, which is it is like folk music.
Yeah, folk.
Like what you think of folk music, like dudes singing songs about their heart being broken.
Hank Williams, yeah.
And then exactly that came together with the influence of the African rhythms.
Interesting.
And then
the clave, the clave,
True.
and then all that stuff makes it way up to New York eventually. And in the 50s and in the 60s, all this stuff's getting more with jazz, and everything's getting more interesting. And then the salsa thing, like making these big, orchestrated, section things going on, rather than just like a groove the whole time and like, jam. It's a song form, it's a thing. So that's what salsa is.
He wasn't talking about the clavinet, by the way.
Oh, the clave. The clave is it's an instrument. It's like the wood sticks you hit together, or you see them like the porcelain sticks. It's the clave, but then it's a pattern. It's a rhythmic pattern.
Okay.
That dictates
everything. How the bass is played, how my role, the piano is played, how the percussion plays.
What's it look like again?
It's like a wooden, like two sticks that you hit together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like big, like.
But it's more than just the sticks. It's
but it's a rhythm.
It's a rhythm. Yeah.
And there's there's different types of.
So that rhythm, like, it just dictates how everything works.
As opposed to 4 on the floor when you're talking about rock and roll.
Yeah.
When you're talking about a lot of the tropical music, it's clave based. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of switch your thinking a little bit when it comes down to it.
It's a very interesting genre of music, just in general.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's just a hodgepodge of like everything put together.
Exactly.
That's what it sounds like to me.
And salsa is really an American art form.
Right.
When you like
Absolutely true.
get down to it, that kind of thing was born in New York.
Absolutely. And the jazz piano and stuff, right? Is what I'm guessing.
Well,
the jazz piano is like that's a before thing, and there's folks that thinks that like the Cuban pianists from like the 1900s were going to New Orleans and influencing what happened there with jazz.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, just the whole thing that was going on in the 50s, the 40s, the 50s, the bebop, the fire, Dizzy Gillespie going to Cuba, like all this stuff.
Very interesting.
It kind of brought that all together, you know what I mean? And along to what Angel was saying, the European instruments that came into salsa music and salsa orchestras, or these because before salsa there was mambo, there was the rumba, there was all that kind of stuff.
The ballroom stuff.
The ballroom, big
Yeah.
band kind of vibe. And these were the brass instruments that were coming in from Europe. So it's a marriage of the Afro-Cuban beats and the African, African rhythms that came through with the European instruments, and that kind of vibe that got together to create this art form. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of like the non-folk side of salsa, what he said about mambo music, cha-cha music, danzón. These styles that were highly orchestrated. It wasn't like what salsa is, which is, kind of a mash of all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was
Correct.
this like ballroom dance, like very high society thing. Like the music had strings in it, like and
in
it was
Latin America,
and
they were
in
just
Cuba,
Oh, in Cuba, they were
yeah.
doing, okay.
And in New York.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
this is
that's-
even before.
Right, in Cuba, yeah, with Benny Moré, Pérez Prado, all these
Yeah,
cats
all
down
those
there,
cats,
you know what I'm saying?
and like danzón was like the national music of Cuba for, it
For-
still is.
for a
They
long
still
time.
say that. But all that stuff, yeah, they were marrying the European, compositional aspects, the instruments and all that stuff. So yeah, by the time New York, 50s and stuff,
So
shit's crazy.
These cats would play this orchestrated music during their like gig hours, right?
Right.
And then at late night, this thing called descargas would develop, and descargas are like basically like
Jams.
just a jam, like an open jam. And Cachao, was like one of the innovators of this, where it was like,
bass player.
he would like, they'd all finish their gigs, at midnight or 1 a.m, and then they'd go into these like little holes in the wall and do these jam sessions. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds
Where
like
it was
a rough
just-
life.
Oh yeah, right.
In Cuba.
But that was a very important development when it comes down
course.
to this music, because when it starts moving into New York and these people start kind of formalizing, there is that jam part also built into it. You know what I mean?
Conversational. It's very conversational, like especially like the call and response thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's fundamental, and like that's like a fundamental musical element too. Like, call and response is probably like, arguably one of the oldest, like, when we were sitting around a fire as cavemen, like, stuff like that was going on before we
Sure.
knew what music or language even was.
Yeah.
Would you say that you guys jam too in LPT, or doing that kind of sort of thing?
We have tunes that allow for that. That are open, have open forums, and we improvise on, and certain tunes have like little sections of, regulated soloing
Yeah.
or open, it depends. But yeah, we definitely try to keep that in there, and
Yeah.
there's a few songs that are wide open.
Man, what does a
For the cats
salsa
to-
jam sound like? I'm just trying to wrap my head and my brain around it. It seems like it's like so complicated. I guess it's like a just a bigger jazz jam. A lot of percussion. I don't know.
Yeah.
I sound stupid right now.
No, not at all, man. I mean, not at all, Billy. Because what part of this is as much as it is a conversation musically, it's also a conversation educationally when it comes down to like, taking this stuff. That's why we played places like Rain Dogs, and we chose to go play these spots that maybe you weren't gonna necessarily go see a salsa band at, because it was
Right.
about building that cultural bridge, man, and saying like, oh, what is a salsa jam? Well, a salsa jam is, that's when it gets down. That's when it's on fire. Everybody's dancing. You know what I'm saying? The band is feeding off the audience feeding off the band. There are certain times when we're just going off and we look at each other and we're like, well, we can't stop playing because the crowd is jamming. So we
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
to
they're gonna
continue.
kill us.
They're gonna kill us if we stop the
Yeah.
song. So let's keep going.
Keep it going.
So there's a lot of communication on stage and a lot of like
And what he said about the dancers, I mean, that, like, just people moving to it, not necessarily, like, knowing your salsa steps or whatever, but just
moving.
people there moving, engaged, and feeling it, that makes that stuff. Because
Absolutely.
without it, like, we've had to play some things where everybody's sitting down.
Brutal.
And it's
Whoa,
fun.
hey,
you
that
do
doesn't
it.
make any sense
Brutal.
at all.
But it's, yeah.
Well,
I
it's,
actually love those kind of gigs. Those
Of
are
course
some of
he
my
did, because
favorites.
he's like
but-
90 years
Yeah.
old. But
Yeah.
what he was like, how are you supposed to be in a salsa jam? Sit down.
It's been interesting, and we've been asked to do that. We've been lucky to have a good control over the kind of shows we play. We say no a lot. We have the privilege of saying no a lot to things, but you could write the best song in the world in our genre, if you were, or our lane, and if it doesn't make people dance, you fail.
So I'm curious, because there's people that there's like salsa can be very complicated in a lot of different ways, but I mean, there's like from my perspective, for instance, like I'm probably not going to be dancing at a salsa show, but I'm going to be listening very intently.
You move.
And yeah, like
You're grooving.
I'll be moving a little bit for sure.
Yeah,
But like what I'm more interested in than dancing is listening to how the music is, like how the instruments are interacting together, and that might manifest itself in a visual view of me just looking very serious and not enjoying myself, when in fact I'm actually enjoying the hell out of it.
Yeah, you're zoned in.
I'm just curious.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm just curious about like why the first why you wouldn't enjoy that, if people are getting off on it in that way, why wouldn't that be equally as enjoyable for you to
It's okay.
To know?
It's good. But like when there's all these people like moving and getting hot and sweaty in front of you,
That's a different thing.
That's a different thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And ultimately,
we'll play theaters. It's okay.
Yeah, but you know, you want people to dance. I mean,
it makes it really fun when
we are very much
a
band that feeds off of the crowd energy. You know
I could see that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a big machine. It's a big machine.
Yeah, when you said theater, that put a different thing in my head.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
play
can see
things
that
like
not working out
that,
so
and then
well.
everybody's sitting down, and it's like, okay, we'll play, and it's cool,
and we could still put on a hell of a show.
We'll put on the show.
It's a performance at that point, and you're right. There's people out there that look, man. There's 10 different people on stage. There's a lot going on at all times.
Yeah.
So that I get it. There could be, and I probably would be one of them where I'd be listening to like, I'm gonna put my ear here now. I'm gonna put my ear over there now. I'm gonna put my ear back over there.
Exactly.
And there's so much to gain out of it. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, man, this music was created to make people feel good, make people dance, and again, to go back to the saying, if we can make you think at the same time a little bit, then we've succeeded.
For sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where it comes down, and even invite you into the music, man. You know what I'm saying? We get so many folks that are just like, well, I don't know anything about salsa music. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just come
you don't
hang
have
out.
to dance.
Yeah.
We invite you into the music, man, because it feels good. Because you know what I'm saying. You want to groove. You want to vibe out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're preaching to the choir here, but
yeah, I mean,
dancing is just applauding with your entire body. That's what it is.
I like that.
I get it. It's very representative of the culture as a whole, because that's how Latin culture is in general, where it's like it doesn't matter like. I mean, for the most part, there's definitely exceptions to that rule. At least I can speak from the older generation in my family. But but for the most part, it's very much like, oh, who are you? Where are you from? Doesn't even matter. Just come in, have food, listen to the music, get in the conversation.
Man,
and have a good time.
every culture. I'll say that every culture is like that. They all have. I mean, honestly, man, they're more similar than they are different.
That's
every
very
culture
true.
is gonna have that vibe of like, I want to feed you. I want to make you feel good. I want to give you a cup of coffee, and I want to make you. And if you're vibing with me, then fantastic.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's a universal thing. You know what
For
I'm
sure.
saying? And it doesn't matter where you're at. There's always going to be somebody that wants to feed you something, or feed not physically, but also feed your soul.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like
definitely.
every culture's like that.
That's very
Everyone.
true. That's
You know what
very
I mean?
true.
And I think that's kind of what what we can credit to what we've done up to this point, which is like, man, we want to invite people in, man. Come on in. There's no wall here. This doesn't belong to us. This doesn't belong to anybody. This is universal. Come jam. Come
I
good.
love that philosophy. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Seriously, that's a really, really great way to think about your music.
For sure.
Thanks, man.
What's your philosophy?
Well, I'm really
Don't
curious
dance.
as to how. No,
Listen to me and don't dance.
No, I believe that everyone's got their own way of enjoying music. You know what I mean?
that's
Oh, yeah.
So like my girlfriend loves to dance, and she was like a break dancer down in Miami, did the whole thing, and so that's like a part of who she is. So that definitely creates a weird dynamic for us sometimes, because I don't dance.
Are you just bad at dancing?
No, I mean I've never really
Because I'm awful at it, but I'll do it
I've
all
never
day.
given it an honest try, to be honest with you, but it's not how I enjoy listening to music. I really do enjoy trying to figure out like, okay, what's happening here?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's the baseline? Like you said, picking out where you want to listen to at these given times. And then watching the show. I feel like if I'm dancing, I'm taking away from my ability to listen to the music. You
Absolutely.
know? And that's just my thing, though. You know.
And I'll go to things, go to concerts and stray away from like that kind of stuff, and because I want to watch the stage, man. I love, I love being on the stage, and I love seeing what other people do and listening to the music and thinking about it. So I get that for sure. And are the people dancing, going nuts, listening to everything that's going on? Probably not. But we're making them move.
Sure.
And that's kind of cool.
That's amazing, and that's like, what Billy's trying to get at is that he's making it seem like I have like there's one way to appreciate music, that's just to listen. And that's not what I'm saying.
You sound like you're better than everybody else.
No. I have my way of enjoying it, and other people have their way of enjoying it. That's the way that
the
it should be.
lesser way of enjoying it, which is dangerous.
No.
That's what you're trying to say.
That's how I'm saying it all. That's not what I'm saying at all.
I'm just messing around.
No, but what I am curious about is let's talk about what it's like to run a 10-piece band.
Yeah, all right. I don't know about that. 10 pieces. That's so many.
10 of us.
We have a crew that is, some of the most awesome friends, awesome people that have stuck with this, and
Awesome professionals.
and they are so special to me and to Josue, obviously, and it's tough, man. Everything is making rehearsals happen, making shows happen. It's like what is it you say, the lightning in the
Catching lightning in the bottle, man.
every time
every time
we can get everybody in the same room, it's like wow.
Yeah, it is.
But
it
it
really
works.
is.
But it works out, and we've been able to keep this alive also by having a decent bench. Because if we couldn't do a show because this guy couldn't do it or this guy couldn't do it, we could almost never do shows.
That was gonna be my next
so
question.
we have some awesome cats that are on the bench ready to go.
Or sometimes you do it as like a 9-piece or an 8-piece if you have to.
We don't.
Never. It's always a 10-piece.
Yeah,
Okay.
Part of the big thing of this is, and what has happened because of, economies and monies, and even this happens in Latin countries now too, that the places don't want to pay what a 10-piece band is worth. So in order to pay the bills, you strip it down. You have one percussionist, you have one horn, we want to try as hard as we can to always have our, because the songs are arranged for those 4 horns. If I don't have those 4 voices there, things will sound weird.
Yeah.
They charted out for that. Yeah.
And we just want to try to keep that as true as possible forever, and as long as people will want to play for what we pay them, then we'll keep going.
It's Angel brought up a good point with regards to like how a lot of trends are like to go ahead and strip it down to the most bare bones, right? And we've almost been rebellious in that nature. We've been like, listen, the music was written.
No, we have. I mean, people ask us, "Oh, we can't pay you this, but how about you guys bring 6 people instead of 10?"
And we say no.
Yeah.
We've
That's important.
We say no a lot.
Yeah,
LPT says no a lot, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're not, you know what I'm saying, playing as often or whatever, but at the same time, when we show up and we give you what we got, you know what I'm saying, you're going to know why.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
And, running a 10-piece band, to answer your question, takes a lot of patience is not the right word, because we're dealing with pros. Every single person in this band is a pro, man. They're professionals. They understand what's being asked of them, and they deliver every single time. You know what I'm saying? It takes coordination.
Tenacity
and coordination, right?
Wanting to do it really bad.
You want to do it, you know what I'm saying? And, part of my role is to get this team to the goal line, right? You know what I'm saying? And and I work very hard. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it a million times going, I'm the biggest fan of LPT. I'm LPT's biggest fan. And I get to sing for this band that I'm the biggest fan of, you know what I'm saying? So my efforts as are to they're all based on the fact that, like, man, people need to listen to what this band is doing, right? Like, man, you got to listen to what this cat's doing, or what Angel's doing, or what Juan's doing, or Stan, or, Mile and JP, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got to listen to. They're doing amazing things. I want you to listen to it. So I'm invigorated by getting this out there.
Yeah.
And it just takes coordination, man. You know what I'm saying? A 10-piece band just takes an extra
Google
level
calendars.
of a lot of calendar.
Yeah.
Google calendar.
A lot of
Remember that weird app we tried for like a month?
We did. We tried some. What was that?
Something donkey mule.
Band Mule.
Band Mule. Oh, I've heard of that one.
We tried, man.
We tried it. No disrespect to Band Mule. Whatever. They do what they do, but it didn't work for us.
Sponsor the podcast. So.
Hey, if they want to sponsor,
they're awesome.
No, I was joking.
If you're looking for someone to sponsor.
Yeah. No. So Google calendars and a lot of communication, and you know what I'm saying. and it's something that continues to grow the process, right? Because it is 10, but at the base level, everybody that's in LPT right now, you know, the A team and even the bench and everybody, you know what I'm saying? They all have a love for what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? They all have a passion for it, you know what I'm saying? These guys can go anywhere and make a lot more money.
Yeah.
And they fit this into their lives because it feels good to them, and it's a fantastic feeling when
incredibly humbling
when we're fine on all
those guys. Yeah,
I mean, and these
they want to work with us.
These are people that want to be on stage, and every time we get on stage, we're having the most fun, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, you're listening, and I'm, you know, my jaw's dropping to the ground when somebody's just ripping, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
so that is a lot of the driver, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I get that question a lot. Is like, you know, people look at me like I'm crazy whenever I tell them that we're in a 10-piece band, you know what I'm saying? And I get that question a lot.
Sure.
And it's like, and my answer is always, man, these people are professionals. They're there because they want to be there, you know what I'm saying? All of us are there because we want to be there, you know?
So I'm curious, do you guys have like designated roles? Like are you the band leader essentially, or Angel? Are you the band leader? I'm not talking about so much like musical director versus somebody who's like kind of leading the band.
So and like aspect. You know, as far as like administratively and you know, kind of like the day-to-day operations, I'm taking that on. You know what I'm saying?
So there's got to be an aspect of because, you know, as musicians,
sure.
we are a strange breed in the sense where it's like, if we're enjoying the music and we're enjoying the situation, we'll, like you're saying, we'll take the hit on the pay just to do that thing, right?
We have a number we don't go below.
That's true, but you also have a lot of guys like you said could be making money elsewhere,
right,
but are still doing it
because
they love it.
Yeah.
So, but beyond the music, there's got to be something else that keeps them there, and it's usually the vision that you've been able to sell them on, right?
Yeah.
To some extent.
Yeah, to some extent. We're all, and that's the other really cool thing about our band, that it's just we're like a family. You know, some of us has 10 plus years, you know, friendship. It's, I mean, we've been on the road with these guys. We haven't killed each other yet.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, 10 guys in the van. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah,
I can't imagine. Yeah.
They see the, you know, they see what it does with the audience, I think, more than anything.
Okay.
Like the connection that we have, the awesome time that it is on stage.
Right.
You know, you get stuck a lot of times playing, you know, not with our band necessarily, but, you know, and bar gigs and stuff like that, where it's no one even cares you're there, you know.
Totally, I know the feeling.
I mean, I do those gigs too, still to this day. But LPT like really just, you know, validates what we're doing, and it's just so fun. And you know, these are all my best friends, and it's that's you know, all that keeps it going. The vision, we don't even have to sell a vision. It's just like, you know,
it kind of develops and lays out before us, and we, you know, I think our you know, not maybe not challenged, but our, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess our switch is to step into that, right? Is to accept that, you know, what's laid out before us. You know what I'm saying? Like the next step. You know what I'm saying? And you know. A lot of this and a lot of the, I mean, all of us, we all see what the capability is. I mean, I think when I think of LPT, I think the only thing that would cause me pain is not having it be able to live up to its potential.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like that's the one thing that I would think like, oh my God, it would break my heart, you know? And so that serves as a driver. And I think that everybody in the band shares that understanding, that it's like, you know, like what we can accomplish, you know what I mean? Whether it takes one day or 10 years or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? Like to be able to accomplish that together. And man, I got to tell you, when it's firing on stage and everybody's locked in, it's pretty damn special.
Yeah.
It sounds like so much fun to be in a band with 10 people. If it like everything comes together and actually works.
If it works.
That's
it
awesome.
works. Yeah. When it doesn't work, it's scary.
When it doesn't work, it is. Oof. You know what I'm saying? And there's been moments where, I mean, we're all human and we're all musicians. We're all learning, and when it falls apart, man, it's
a big train wreck.
It can.
Being in a band army, I love it.
Yeah.
But you guys travel in one van together?
Yeah. We've done that. Yeah,
10
we've
people
done
and
that.
all your equipment and everything too.
With the trailer.
Oh, okay.
With the trailer.
Yeah, that's just like that sounds like
Dude.
me going on church like church
Well,
trips when you're.
It is like it is.
Yo, we were on tour
Two to a bitch.
Yeah.
to the southeast, and literally, or when we're on the road, man, it's like I can think of. There's never been a time when somebody's been more than 5 minutes late to van call.
Really?
You know what I mean?
That's
And
amazing.
That's a testament.
I can't make that happen with 4 people.
Yeah.
So
You know what I mean? And it's a testament to just how special these cats are and how dedicated and professional they are to what they do.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Totally, man.
That's really what it comes down to. So yeah, 10-piece band is. It takes coordination, man. Just take a deep breath and you know. And I'm surprised at the speed of some of these things happen, you know, because sometimes things happen quite quickly, and you know, sometimes they don't. But
Yeah,
it still moves at a good clip, and I'm you know, band morale is important, you know, when you're 10-piece and keeping folks engaged, and you know.
that's kind of where I was getting at with that one
Yeah.
question, where it was like, you know, there's got to be something else besides just having fun on stage that kind of keeps the thing rolling, because 10 people have to believe that this is going somewhere.
Yeah,
Sure.
You know, and it helps. We'll get to this stuff in a little bit, but it helps you guys are constantly working on stuff,
Writing new music.
and putting out music.
Putting out music.
Which I'm curious, what's your writing process like, and what's it like working in the studio with, you know, what's the studio
Sure.
process like?
We've tried different approaches to the studio. We've been blessed to be able to try different approaches, you know what I'm saying? So our first album was like recorded live to tape. You know
Old
what I
school
mean?
style.
Old school style, like get in there. We take 3 takes. We all get into the control room, pick the best one, and move on to the next one.
That is wild.
So you got to come in ready to go, and it's
Yeah.
on tape. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how we did Sin Parar.
And that's how we did Sin
And we
Parar.
went and really rehearsed.
Yeah.
You know, like the band was, you know, killing it. We
Yeah.
recorded all the music in 2 days, and the third day was all vocal
All vocals in one day. It was brutal.
stuff. Yeah, it was nuts.
Brutal.
No kidding, man.
Brutal.
Shit, man.
But we did it. So 3 days, you get a whole album. And, you know, so that afforded us the opportunity to try something new with this new album that we recorded, which was, you know, a lot of pre-production. You know, the writing process. Everybody's invited to come and bring ideas, you know what I'm saying? And we all do, you know what I'm saying? For this last album, you know, out of the 9 songs, I think Angel and I, we holed up in a place up in the coast of Georgia for a week and just locked ourselves away and, you know, put 6 songs together. You know
So
what I'm
you
saying?
guys are predominant writers in the band then?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know, we've written a lot of songs, a lot of the material together. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'll bring a lot of times it's like you know, Angel has a fully fleshed song, and Angel is the primary composer, and you know, charts, and I mean, arranger, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you talk about this man is where it starts and stops. I'll bring him a skeleton of a song a lot of times, you know, and from my songwriting capabilities, and I'll be like, yo, man, here's a nice strong skeleton. Let's flesh this out. You know what I'm saying? I got some good lyrics. I got something. You know what I'm saying? Here's some vocal patterns and kind of situation. You know, and Angel's been, you know, always gracious to be like, all right, man, where do you think this is going vocally? You know what I'm saying? And you know, and then we work together. No, try this or do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like Steve Strawley, who plays trumpet, has written a song. He wrote a song on the last album. He wrote a song for this album, and he's always got material. And I mean, I'm talking about fully fleshed material that he's bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying?
He had lyrics to it.
You know what I'm saying? I'll add some lyrics to it. You know what I'm saying? But he's bringing material. Bryant Patterson, who plays trombone, you know, we found. I don't know. So how did that work? You found the song, or
So on my scoring computer for all the notation stuff, Bryant, the trombone player, he's contributed a lot in the past with, like, we were doing more covers. He did some arrangements and some. So he borrows my laptop with the software on there. And one day he was like, "Hey man, can I borrow your laptop? I got some ideas I want to put down for a song for LPT." I was like, "Yeah, man." And he put this stuff in the computer, and I checked it out. I was like, "Man, it's cool. All right." And I think it was like right before we went to record Sin Parar or something.
right? Yeah.
And I'm like, "Cool, man." And then like A whole year goes by. Like, oh shit, Bryant's song, and it was like little horn fragments, a little of these parts, all ready to go, but just these little parts. So Josue and I assembled a song out of it, turned it into like intro versus chorus,
Nice.
And
You're saying you were holing up in a
We rented a house on the coast of Georgia for a week.
out in,
middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
where at?
Oh God, I don't even know what the name of that
town
town was.
The fish dock. It was near the fish
It's
dock.
near the fish dock in the center.
That was the only thing that we did.
Yeah, we would leave the house to go to this fish dock to have some drinks and food.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like we were
that
literally
happened twice or 3 times.
Yeah, we were there we just holed up for a week.
Yeah,
up
we did
there.
like 10, 12 hours a day of.
Oh, we were just working. But I mean, it was
really fun.
fantastic. I mean,
That's
it was
amazing.
I mean, think about being in a zero distraction environment
Yeah.
where all you have is the ability to like write.
Yeah.
That's well. Besides writing, yeah, I think that's like the best place for it. But that's what we do when we go record down in South. Or where's it? Pompano, right?
Yeah, Pompano.
It's not South Florida. I don't
Yeah,
know.
whole
where
lot
it
of
It is
starts.
South Florida,
Yeah, I don't know
Pompano.
where
Yeah.
it starts, but
There's Dogmatic Recording Studios down in
Nice.
Pompano.
we do the
Georgia.
same thing where we're like no distractions. This is what we're
It's-
doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've
it's-
been afforded that with NFS where we
Absolutely.
record as well. It's amazing studio. The studio stuff is amazing, but it's on an awesome property like outside of St. Augustine, out in the kind of farmland.
Elkton, Florida.
Elkton.
Elkton, Florida.
Yep.
So it's amazing,
It's
man.
a world class studio.
Yeah, and we can stay there. We eat there. We just live there. There's a pool.
Yeah.
We're
This
definitely
is a
looking
nice
at.
reward.
I'm definitely looking at them for our next one, just to
I
keep
would
it
recommend
local.
it,
I think.
man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean,
Leroy's an amazing
Leroy's the
engineer.
man, dude. You know what I'm
He
saying? He's a
knows-
great resource. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And he knows what he's doing.
And they have a pool, you said?
Oh, they had
And a
pool
hot tub.
And a hot
I'm
tub.
in, man.
Yeah.
And an outdoor kitchen.
That
It's
was
like,
that was my motivation for the first album.
let's go to the pool.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my take as good as I can because I'm.
Now that seems like a distraction, bro.
Well,
It's a motivator.
It's a
It can
motivator.
be. It can be. You gotta be
Honestly,
careful.
You can't all 10 record at the same time. We're gonna have a pool party, and then you go in there.
Yeah,
and
We
you
were.
record your
There's,
bass.
We did
there's
that, we did
photos,
that, we did
There's
that.
photos of us like half of the guys are in swim trunks. Most of them now have shirts on.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Recording the takes. It was really fun.
It's
That sounds
fantastic.
very relaxing. We should do that.
Yeah.
It's a great environment, and the studio process. Like I said, what we did in the first time, what we tried the second time was we did a lot of pre-production, a lot of preparation. You know what I mean? So that we can maximize the time in the studio. When you have 10 pieces, you can't go around in the studio and mess around, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta.
Yeah.
And I mean, just these guys were beautiful, man. They showed up.
Oh, they showed
and
up so
they
prepared.
Showed up and showed out, man. I mean, they came in. Everybody was ready. Everybody was like rehearsed, and everybody nailed. You know what I'm saying? And it was fantastic to see it happen. You know the way it worked. You know what I'm saying? The way we were able to track this album. And,
Yeah, so we did it in a tracking process. That way we could, since we had a little more time this time than last time, capture really, really awesome captures of the sounds of the instruments, which is the engineer down there, NFS Leroy. He's got this ear that is incredible, man, and makes it all sound alive. I don't know, but so he could spend his time a lot more on capturing the congas on their own,
Yeah.
the bass on its
He had a
own.
spreadsheet of mics and preamps that was 2 pages long, and he mapped it out before we got there. He's like, this is what I want to use. This is the mic I want to
Dope.
use. This is the preamp I want to use.
Yeah.
You
So that
guys
he
send
could
him
capture.
stuff ahead of time, so he had an idea of what he was working
Correct.
with. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, it was
And
a lot
he
of-
recorded the last album
So
too.
he knew a
Oh,
lot
he
about
And
knew.
we did a
Okay.
live stream back there and during COVID.
He knew a
so
lot about
He
us.
knows our
Gotcha.
band.
He
He
Yeah.
knows the sound, and and his goal, which I championed, was he's like, I want to make you guys sound as closest to what you sound like at your best live show. It's this and I was just like, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't reproduce it on stage, that's a different product. You know what I'm saying? And for us specifically, it's like we have so much going on that working with Leroy was fantastic because he had in his mind placement.
Yeah, the
You know what I'm
space of
saying?
the room and
You
where
know.
everyone mix
Right.
wise is
The
going to
mix,
end up.
yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
The
The sounds
instruments,
open, yeah.
not only left to right, but also depth. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we were learning a lot from him as far as just how he put this together. And I mean, crushing it, man. So, that's the. You want to talk about LPT's recording process? Preparation.
Yeah.
It's all preparation.
Super important.
Super.
for sure.
Go in and execute. The studio is not to write. The studio is to execute.
Yeah.
Now, if you're getting paid to be in a month, a whole month in the studio, that's
It's a
different.
different story,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm
But
saying?
when the budget is what it is,
Yeah,
you got to maximize.
totally, man.
Have you ever tasted heaven in a glass? Do you pine for the hoppiest brews and palest ales? Do you like food? If so, then Wicked Barley is the oasis that your mouth has been wishing for, walking into the complete barren wasteland that is your life. Wicked Barley is located in Jacksonville, Florida, nestled on the banks of Goodbeast Creek. Wicked Barley aims to provide its guests with a wicked experience, offering over 18 house-brewed beers, ciders, and meads on tap. They also have an expansive gastropub-style food menu, including burgers, salads, sandwiches, and more. Whether you are a newcomer or a craft beer connoisseur, there's a little something for everyone at Wicked Barley. Visit them at 4100 Bay Meadows Drive and tell them Bottom of the Bill sent you.
It's something that always happens to me when we're in the studio is that we kind of have a different approach where I kind of want the album to be a different product in the live experience.
Sure,
know?
yeah.
Because for
and
us,
that's absolutely a valid, super awesome approach too. Yeah.
Yeah, because like we're a 4-piece live,
Yeah.
but it's like
all the colors and stuff that you can play with.
Exactly. Yeah. So we start doing stuff like that. It's okay. Well, we have basically like what we can do live is done, but now I'm hearing this idea here, and I'm hearing this thing going on here. Let's try this, try that.
Right.
And it gets to the point, I look at the studio as like this playground of just endless ideas.
And what was fun was we did do a little more playing around. Like, there's going to be some strings on a song, and there's like some doubled horns I did on some things that we're going to like play with some panning. There's going to be a couple little things that we used, the studio time to play around with. But this stuff is so like through composed,
right?
That it's like it has to be like executed as it is.
And you have 10 pieces too, so it's like, what else do you really? Like, what else are you gonna really add other than some production ideas?
Right. Some little tricks and fun stuff, which we did a little bit of that in this one, as opposed to the last album. But yeah, our process has to be that way of just like come in, and then like the solos, which through this pre-production way. We were able to, like, the guys could just come in and just do their solo section.
Right.
Not have to be like, all right, the take that happens when we record the song is the take that's it,
Yeah. No, totally, man.
So it, it allowed us to be more musical within our, the machine that we have operating, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, like going in there, so you were saying that the first album that you did was all the band playing at once, but
yeah.
So is it kind of the same as? I want to know, when does the percussion come in? Is that the very last, or does it go in with the drums at the beginning?
When do we record the percussion?
Record the drums first? I don't know. I was just wondering.
The percussion. Well, when we did the album. Oh, gracias. When we did the first album, everybody was at once. The only thing that wasn't, he was singing scratch tracks, which is horrible, like for his voice.
Yeah, no,
of course.
He's saying all these songs
15 times.
But everybody went at once. This past time, we were actually going to try to do the percussion first, but because of schedules and 10-piece band and life. We actually did the horns first.
You did the horns before anything.
The horns went, and I made these.
I never would have guessed that.
These scratch tracks.
Yeah, and I scratch tracks is not. It's not scratch tracks. This man right here, dude. What I'm saying, we leave that house in Georgia where we wrote these songs. This guy then goes into his home studio, and he charts out all of the music on charts, you know what I'm saying? So this is all charted out. So we hand books to the boys, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is the album right here in a book. This is all charts. After that, this dude right here goes back into his studio and does MIDI pre-production of everything, dude.
Wow.
With vocal cues tracks onto like what's coming
I recommend that, man. You go in there and you say, chorus is coming up.
Yeah.
3, 2,
yeah. Talk
1.
back.
That is a great idea.
A talk back. And when, you know what I'm saying, and you get to people, and you get to something to practice to.
Yeah, the guys had those things 6 weeks before the session.
Yeah.
Those tracks that
with
had
the talk back and
everything, like they had different mixes, so they had like without the horn, so you can practice if you're a horn player, practice. So
you're talking about when you recorded the first album, right?
The first album, no. This is our second album.
The second album.
Yeah, the first album was just like.
First album was like, yo, get in there, let's knock this out.
That's what it
We
sounded
whipped them
like.
into shape right before, and then we're like,
Let's
all right,
go.
here we go.
Let's go. And it was beautiful. They showed up.
Yeah.
We all showed up. It was fantastic.
But this one, I wanted to try this approach because I really wanted to focus on the individual sound of each instrument. When you record everybody at once, the engineers spread a little thin.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Right?
With all that stuff that we have going on.
Yeah, there's bleed, there's all that kind of stuff.
You know, so now this way we could really isolate, really make it, you know. But yeah, it took making those scratch tracks to be able to have everybody in
Angel,
there
I mean,
by step.
this guy went above and beyond. I mean, like, it was fantastic. And
Yeah, thank you.
it's all laid out in front of you, man. And we got into the studio, and that's why we were able to do the horns first. Which is, I mean, you talk to any salsa band, they'll look at you sideways if you tell them we recorded the horns first. You did what?
It almost sounds like you were building like IKEA furniture for,
Right.
for an album. Which is cool.
I mean, like, I feel you talk to any band, and say you record the horns first, they'd be like, "What?"
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And they came in and showed up so hard, man. Oh
bro,
my God.
they recorded a whole album in 4.5 hours.
Yeah,
That's
Of course,
amazing.
you got everything
They were
parted out.
G's. They were amazing. They showed up, man. They showed up too. You know what I mean? It was, you know, and I honestly, the part I love the most about this second album that we just recorded is the difference, right? I love the fact that we tried something the first album and it worked for us and it was fantastic. And we tried something new, and who knows what we'll do for the third one and the fourth, you know, and kind of vibe. I really enjoyed that because it doesn't become monotonous to us. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, well, like here's, you know, you guys know how it is in this business. It's, you know, record, release, tour, record, release, tour, record, release, tour. It can get cyclical, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And you know what I mean? You don't want to sacrifice the art for the cycle, you know what I'm saying? Just so that you can be on a treadmill, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's no fun no more.
You know, where it's, I mean, it's like, it's okay if it's a job. You just got to love your job.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
That's it.
So I guess my final question then was like, which one did you like doing more? The recording all live or do the separated tracks?
It was definitely a lot more work for the second round. A lot more work.
Pre-production though,
Pre-production,
right?
yeah.
It sounds like you. How long did it take you to do the second album?
And the studio, like,
Just in the studio.
just in the
After the
studio, we
pre-production,
had
it took
10 days.
10 days.
Okay, so
amazing.
then, but the other one was
3 days.
3 days.
3 days total. 2 days of the instruments, yeah.
Yeah, 3 days.
So not much longer.
No,
Yeah.
it's not because everybody came in ready. Which one did I appreciate most? I love both, man. I think that the going live offered one experience, and then the freedom of
Man, I was so scared. The first note of that first album, like,
oh my god,
the tape is rolling. I was recording the piano in the giant room, and like, you know, we're about to start the first freaking note, and like, we're on an expensive ass tape. Like, we can't fuck this up too much, you know.
Bro, I would not be like I would crumble under that pressure.
It
There's
was-
no
it
fucking
was
way.
really scary.
He would.
You'd whiff on that for sure.
Yeah.
it was intense.
But it felt good immediately.
Yeah, it was intense, you know, and I think that the process of the second album was really, I find it fulfilling because of the quality of
the outcome, man.
the outcome, the product, right? So there's that fulfilling quality of like, oh my god, this is like literally sonically. I mean, again, I got to give a shout out to Leroy, man, because like
Engineer NFS.
when we heard the board mixes, the only thing that had reverb on it was a little bit of reverb on the vocals. That's it. Everything else was
Like, as recorded.
properly placed room mics
Yeah.
and instrument mics.
That's awesome.
That's
You know what I mean?
amazing.
Because and here's the thing that a lot of people, you know, we run into a lot of problems with a lot of sound engineers when we're playing new venues. LPT is mostly an acoustic band. We are horns, we're percussion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only thing that
that's
you
true.
plug in our band is the keyboard and the bass.
Bass, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We you know, our board is and our you know, production writer is, we have an 18 channel, you know what I'm saying, board
Input list.
Yeah, input list,
Jesus.
and 2 of those are basically just, you know, things that you plug in. Everything else has to be mic'd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's pretty wild, man.
Wait, so you're
I
saying
didn't
you
even think
got
about that.
18 mics on stage? Oh, it's got to be more than that, right?
No, it's about 18 mics
18
at all
mics.
at any given time. Yeah, 16.
It's 16.
16.
Yeah.
16.
That makes
How much
sense.
is usually on a drum set? 'Cause that seems low if you got that many percussionists.
You guys
and
on the
horns and
drummer
all
though.
that.
You have percussionists.
We
Yeah,
have
we don't have
percussionists.
drummers,
We have
yeah.
3 percussionists. The timbales usually carry 1. maybe
two. Two would be nice.
Yeah,
on a
two would be
good day.
great. The congas
have
two,
two,
bongos have
have
one. That's just a percussion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I was just wondering, like, how much does a drummer usually have?
Oh.
You know what I mean? So
So
I'm like, okay,
yeah,
so
depending how many
it
times they
doesn't,
have
like
on site.
cancel out because
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. You guys put all this work into the pre-production on this album, and you do, you put the time in the studio, and how do you guys bring this to market now? How do you release this so it doesn't just go disappear in the ether?
Fair question,
question.
dude. Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're figuring
Tell
it
me.
Yeah, tell me.
How does it work? We learned a lot from our first album. We were lucky with our first album, and I think that we had a lot of success with the first album, and that was kind of just running by the seat of our pants. So strategizing. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be strategic about what you do. You guys know that. You've released music. You know that you have to be smart about how you release the music. How to build the anticipation. And also, we were lucky with the release of our first album in the sense that a lot of international radio stations and DJs came to us.
Organically, which is crazy.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
They came to us,
Yeah.
and we've done radio station interviews in Mexico, in Argentina, Peru. You know what I'm saying? Like
Colombia.
programs in Colombia, Spain, stuff like that. Where then, what we do with the second album is we try to be as smart as possible about those connections and be like, hey guys, we have an album coming out, and then you just coordinate it all, and you just kind of narrow down, like, when are you going to release this? Who's going to hear it first? How are you going to hear it? How do you get it to not be lost in the ether, man? Number one, the music's got to be good.
Yeah.
And the audience and the people will be the ultimate test of that. We can spend hours and days and years writing music, and if people don't dig it, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Pick yourself up and try again.
That's because, like, honestly, before we even started recording this album, I was talking to PR firms and people just to kind of get an idea of what the costs were and what they actually do for you and that kind of thing. And I spoke to one PR firm, and they were like, immediately they were like, if you're looking for us to give you a number on your ROI, if you want us to tell you that we can get you the play listed on this and that, then we're gonna hang up the phone right now, because I can't guarantee anything. If people don't like your music, they don't like your music, and that's just what it is. So it's like, so you guys were not only, you were lucky in the sense that people reached out to you, but you were also just like you're that good where people heard your music and they were like, we need to put these guys out there, because PR people from media don't typically reach out to you. You typically have to hire a PR firm to reach out to them on behalf of you.
We worked with for Sin Parar, we worked with a great press company, PR company out of Austin called Press Junkie.
Okay, well, I've heard of them, yeah.
So we worked with Press Junkie, and like, how it is, man. It's kind of like it's a two-way street. You gotta like them, they gotta like you.
Right.
Kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying?
So what did they do for you guys, if you don't mind me asking?
Press Junkie for us did all our press. So basically, they packaged and delivered all of our music to press outlets. So basically, get people to spill ink on it.
Yeah, little reviews and little.
So there were
little features,
dozens of reviews and features, and
you got us a lot of
placements and stuff like that. Yeah, so like that's a good press. I think that you make a good point, and if this serves as a tutorial for somebody who needs a piece of advice, if anybody promises you something, walk away.
Yeah,
walk away. 100%.
Run away. Because honestly, we're in the business of there is nothing guaranteed. You know what I mean? And especially when it comes down to to reviews and music and all that kind of stuff, man. It's like you got it, Anton. It's like people don't like the music, man. They ain't liking the music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You better dust yourself off and try again. You know what I'm saying? Kind of vibe.
Right.
But you can be a strategic. There's people that you look at some of these major, massive projects, and you could throw a gajillion dollars at it, and you can make a dent, right? You can make a dent with $1 million in what is it? There was
Paris Hilton,
Lindsay
Lohan,
They say there is, some of the estimates out there is to break an artist from unknown to superstar is about $1.5 million. There's just a number that I've
That's
read.
all you need?
That's all you need. That's
about-
it.
$1.5 million,
we're
and you can take an unknown and put them and make them a superstar.
We're
right?
about a percent
Wow.
of the way there, bud.
yeah.
Rebecca Black.
Yeah, work a little hard.
Yeah, I gotta work a little hard.
So but
Some change.
But at the same time, it's there's no organic in it. There's no viability in it. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna lose it as soon as you get it.
It's early,
As
fast.
quickly as
What
you
is
get
it?
it.
Fast to rise, fast to fall.
Yeah.
You know what
That's my issue with, not to change the subject, but with the competition shows on television and stuff. You see these people on The Voice and American Idol, and the reason why you rarely see, I mean, a couple of exceptions to that rule, but you rarely see any of them really succeed, is because most of them, are coming from careers or jobs where they were completely outside of the music world. And if you weren't in this thing grinding for years, you have no idea what it means to do this for real. So it's like
it is, because it's a lack. It's not. I mean, anybody that thinks that this is all stars and freaking
Money and stuff.
money and stuff is living in a fantasy, man. The real life of us. Look, man, if you do not love this,
don't do it.
don't
Don't
it.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
or if you do love it and don't have the passion for the other stuff, then don't do it, because it's gonna kill your love for it.
Right.
don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, it's like you have to love it. Not only do you have to love it, you have to. I've always said, the music is being a viable musician is about building your own hype and not believing your own hype.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
100%.
gotta build your own hype. But you gotta be cautious about believing. The moment you believe your own hype, you're on a downward spiral at that point.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
I do agree to a certain extent on that one. But I do also believe that you have to really believe that what you're putting out there is worth that thing that you expect it to get to.
You gotta believe in it, man.
You do. It's like
do.
I think that there is something like
But it's a fine line.
There's a fine line. Yeah, don't get an ego to the point where you're like, oh, I'm better than everybody. But also believe that or not even believe, know that the competition is stiff, and that you have to figure out why people should take your piece of this pie versus anybody. And in order to actually get people to do that, you have to actually believe that your product is worth their time, right? It's like, our album is 45 minutes long. It's 7 songs at 45 minutes. That's a big investment for somebody, right, who doesn't know who we are. But I have to believe that what we're putting out, that the time and the energy that we put into this is worth their 45 minutes of time, And that's where I look at it. But yeah, you don't want to buy into your hype to the point where you're just like, I'm the shit and I've got nowhere else to go from here.
I really got some validation the last album, and it's one of the most incredible compliments I think. I mean, a lot of people say a lot of nice things, and I'm very grateful. But there's this young dude in Colombia, the clave beat guy.
Oh yeah.
When we released the album, man, totally organically, this guy, this kid, he was like starting a salsa music video blog thing in Colombia, and we were his first episode. And he took our album and did like a 15-minute like breakdown
Top to bottom
of like lyric content, subject matter, like
that's awesome.
How this relates to the salsa like repertoire, the canon, like what it reminds him of other, like really took that shit,
Deep
digested it.
That's amazing.
And like said like beautiful. I mean, it's giving me chills thinking about it. Like that one right there is like enough for me for like forever. Like that's crazy,
That's a deep interpretation of the music that you're putting out. And
Like
I feel like that's what, as artists, you want people. Like that's the ideal situation. Is you
That's
want
the
people
went
to
on it for a while
internalize.
to write a video essay about it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's like that is the dream right there.
And we
right?
didn't pay. I mean, like we got cool little press things last time, but we were kind of paying for that to happen. This guy just came out of nowhere, was trying to do his own thing, his own dream of like
found our
album.
Wow.
Because it was playing at the time. The stuff was playing up there.
In Colombia, we had some plays down there. Latina Stereo
And,
was playing our album. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it was crazy, dude. Like that he sat there and just like each song went through like lyric content, subject matter, all this stuff.
Awesome.
That's amazing, man. That to me is a dream right there.
That's the
for
dream.
somebody to internalize your music on that level, even if it's just literally one person. Like that's deep.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And that's that's why we do it, right? You know what I mean? We're again, we're in the business of banging our heads against a very hard wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And believing that in what we're doing and delivering, art. And if you're not, man, get out of the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Just don't be blunt. If you're not in it for that, and you're in it for whatever other ulterior motive, you're just blocking up the scene. Get out of the way.
And there's plenty of other avenues for you. It doesn't need to be music. There's plenty of other avenues for you to go do your fucking.
Go flip burgers.
Yeah, go flip.
Man,
start a TikTok page. You know what I mean?
Music though, even in music, there's
Start selling real
so many
estate.
middle people. You know what I'm saying in music, and the industry has been built around a network of middle people, right?
Yeah.
And
What do you mean by middle people?
Like they're not musicians. Like the agents and the producers
I see
and all
what
that
you're-
stuff.
okay.
people
I see
that
what
plug
you're
themselves into, you want to get your music between you and the audience. There's a lot of people between that.
There's a lot of
right?
people between that. It's like who I might get in trouble for saying this, but that's kind of what
Do
the
it,
show's
do it,
about, right?
do it.
Yeah.
The people to me that are the bottom feeders of the music industry are promoters, right? I'm sorry. Like there's some great promoters that I've worked with over the years, okay? But there's also most of them some really shitty ones, and they found this little slither of income between the booking agent, the managers, and the musicians where they're like, I can make 15% on this.
Yes,
You're just
but
like,
that's any business, man. That's any business.
For sure,
I
but-
think that there's some good promoters out there that are in it because they want to put two good shows together.
sure.
And there's snakes everywhere, man. You turn any rock over and you're gonna find a snake.
Let's be honest about it. A lot of promoters are people that were non-musicians that want to be a part of the party, not just at the party. You know what I mean?
Anton's opinion. I'm not gonna share that with anybody.
Yeah, it's career suicide, but yeah, cool. Keep talking about the promoters.
fine.
That'll
I'm
definitely book us for shows, man.
I'm not mentioning names. Look, if you're a good promoter, I'll work with you. I understand the need for it.
I get you.
But there's
I
a-
feel you, man. I feel you.
But there's a lot of them out there, man. They're just like, hey, I want to be a part of the party without just being the guy at the party.
I don't like that because I think that this is why they get into it. It's because they do want to be into music, but that's their skill. Is they're really good at the giant.
some
what
of
do
them
you
are.
call it?
Some of them are.
Yeah,
event,
some of them
event
are.
planning and stuff like that.
How
so.
many of them have you worked with though, where they're actually really working their ass off to promote the show? And how many times have you just said, I'll work with you.
Several.
Here you go, and I'm just go ahead and take my 15% off the top of the show, and I haven't done any work to promote this thing.
Sometimes that does happen.
No, not sometimes.
Especially
a
when-
lot of the time that happens.
Especially when you're on tour, they
I
don't
think-
have to worry about
I
seeing
think
your face. at the
Anton's
corner.
got beef with promoters.
He's got
I think
some
we've
beef.
established
Hey,
it.
I'll
You
call it how I
beef.
see it, bro. I'll call it how I see it. I'm just saying, I put a lot of work into this shit, and I want to work with people that put
doubt.
equally the work into their shit as well.
No doubt.
You know, so
No doubt,
unfortunately,
no
it just
doubt.
doesn't. With promoters, I just noticed that happening a lot more than agents or managers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's hard to say anything. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, so the the next.
There you go. He brought the podcast to a halt right there with that one, didn't he?
I don't know why.
So.
Well, you know that's what I.
don't know why you have to-
As
why-
Billy has said in the past, I'm a PR nightmare.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
are, man.
Um,
Just because you got something in your head don't mean you gotta say it.
that's true, but sometimes I feel like I gotta say it.
Yeah, but
Man, get off your chest, Chief. Get it off your chest.
Yeah,
Anton.
that's what I'm
Whatever.
saying, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
Anyways,
we
all
have a
right. So
medium
you
for
guys,
to
you
tell
guys,
everybody.
you guys have some experience with labels and stuff. How has that helped you guys open up any doors for you in any ways you
Sure.
want to impart some wisdom on people with?
You know, it's a relationship thing, man.
Yeah.
When you get into labels, you're talking about relationships. You know what I mean? And there has to be a unified relationship. And that's tough. It can get a little tough because there is the motivations. While none of them may be ulterior, they may be varied, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in our experience with label work is, good communication leads to good work. You know what I mean? And being able to get on the same page what the outcome needs to be. You know what I'm saying? There are a million reasons to stay independent, and there's a million reasons to go with a label. A label that is well run can open up some doors for you financially, can open up some connections for you. You know what I'm saying? And for us, when we were with Bold City Music, for the time that we were with them, it was a fruitful relationship. We released Sin Parar, you know what I'm saying? They're the ones that submitted our album to the Independent Music Awards.
Okay.
They did that, and supported that and gave us the support we needed at the time when we needed it. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, it's about relationships, man. You know what I'm saying? And understanding the construct of those relationships. You know what I'm saying? I know I may be sounding like I'm being, a little bit.
Well, like labels can serve two big purposes. Either your capital,
right,
or they serve as your like connections.
Right.
Word.
And like if we're talking about hypothetical, it's just being on the same page, having that relationship clear. What are we going to be doing? Having everything on paper, everything written down. That we're here to provide capital. We're here to provide this, and make sure it's clear. And like we said about, what was it that we said earlier, to run from
people that make promises.
Yeah. So
Same thing.
Like you got to watch out when
people
when
make promises, run.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 100%. That makes total sense.
But they when we were working with Bold City, they we had a good thing going, and we learned a lot, and
we had, I'm very
and they
proud
helped
of
us
the
a
work
lot.
we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And it comes down to like to relationships run their course, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm very proud of the work we did together. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
And we learned a lot. We both learned a lot. It was fantastic. And we were able to achieve some really cool things, man. But if there was, if somebody's out there listening, they're like, I need a label. You need to understand the relationship of that label, of what that means before you get into like, I need a label.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
do you need capital? Do you
Right.
need connections?
What
do you need shows?
be clear. On
Do you
what
need money to record an album? Like, what is it you're looking for?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And be careful when you're looking for what you're looking
And
for.
label, somebody's out there, you know what I'm saying? I need to get on a major label, and not really.
There's a lot, big labels. They'll pay you in advance $500,000, in advance for your album sales. But if you don't make that back, you're stuck with
a hook.
You're stuck with a big loan you got to pay back.
So
that's not always the best thing.
Are you guys familiar with Adam Duritz from Counting Crows? He's a
I know
singer
the
of
Counting
Counting
Crows,
Crows.
Yeah.
So he was on Joe Rogan's podcast recently, and they got into some stuff and talking about a PR nightmare. This guy is unloading on labels, right? And he was like, man, we signed. I forgot which label he was talking about.
Sure.
But he was like, they gave us. He's like, let's say a label gives you $250,000 for an advance on an album. He's like, you got to pay that back, right? But so what they don't tell you is that, let's say you're getting 15% of the sales on that album, is that you got to pay that back out of your 15%, not after they paid back their $250.
Yeah.
It's after it's only the $250 out of your 15%. So
Yeah.
they'll make back all their money on their investment, and as long as it's not from your 15%,
Right.
they haven't made back their investment yet.
Yeah.
So he was like, he's like, that's the kind of shit that you don't realize going into things that it's like yeah. I mean,
There's good labels out there, man. There's people that
Sure.
are in it. They're just like going back to not to go back to the promoter thing, but there's people that are in it for the right reasons.
totally 100%.
And
And then there are a lot that are not.
and there's people out there that are doing they're into it because they want to see people progress.
Sure.
And so ultimately, man, it's just about an education thing. You know what I'm saying? If
Hire a lawyer.
hire a lawyer. A label is not going to solve any of your problems, and if you're going into a relationship, it's like anything. If let's say you meet a significant other thinking that this person is going to make you the best person in the world, you're deluding yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a symbiotic relationship,
Right.
and you have to both be getting something out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think we all as kids, especially in the model that we all grew up as kids, understanding that, oh man, you get signed and it's like, it's Easy Street. That's where the hard work begins. And if anybody's listening out here that wants to get on the label, has not been on a label, you get signed to a label. That's where the work begins.
Yeah, 100%,
that's where the
man.
hard work really starts. And if you're okay with understanding that, you're gonna be fine. And you have a good partnership, and you got a good relationship, and you got a great communication stream. You know what I'm saying? That's where the hard work begins.
That's how it goes when you bring on any outside source, because you have to realize that, like, in the same way that you're looking for them as an opportunity, they're also looking at you as an opportunity.
Absolutely.
So,
and they have every right to do so.
Absolutely, 100%.
Every right to do so.
And so, like, when we brought in this marketing team, right? Like the guy, the first thing I told him was that I am a tool for you. You let me know what you need from me,
Sure.
so I can get you what you need to do your job, right? He was like, that's great, because ultimately your workload's going to increase when we come on.
Absolutely.
And that was 100% true. I'm on the phone 3 or 4 days a week with these people, telling them what I want and making sure they get the content that they need to put out there, and making sure I'm getting the information that I need from them to know how to make the decisions moving forward, So
and those decisions are going to be based off of making sure, as an artist, you are very clear on what your North Star is.
Exactly.
If you have a very good understanding of where your North Star lies and how to find that North Star when things get convoluted or things get a little murky, you can find that North Star, you're going to be okay.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Just keeping that North Star in your field is going to make...
And having it on paper helps too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Always.
Have that North Star on paper, baby.
Have that North Star on paper.
That is that's actually probably some of the best advice we've gotten on this show.
Yeah.
Have it on
Honestly,
paper,
it's
yeah.
literally having that shit on paper.
Have it on paper, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
Expectations, like
absolutely.
what
Spell it out.
what do you expect from them? What do they expect from you? All that
Exactly.
stuff, timelines, dates on the when,
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. Really,
Yes.
accountability.
Accountability.
Spell it out.
Spell that shit out.
Spell it out.
Leave nothing up to interpretation, because nobody's gonna guess what's in your head and vice versa.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely true.
So without, you don't have to go into too much detail, but I'm curious, did you guys ever feel like you were under did you ever feel like it was harder to be creative if you were under certain deadlines, or
Under the gun, I think it's
under the gun would be the correct term. Sorry.
I think for me, I think that we've been blessed enough to have, again, our North Star, and also have our hands on the wheel the entire time.
Yeah,
Okay.
our deadlines have been self-imposed.
Absolutely.
It's been like, we got to get this done by then. It hasn't been like someone telling us you have to get it done by
Right.
then.
Yeah.
That's important to have that
absolutely.
self-regulation.
But it is important to have some kind of deadline or pressure.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
me in particular, like when we got out of the writing session for the second album here, I was like, I'm having all these charts done by November 1st. We're rehearsing in November. I was like, book the rehearsals. We're rehearsing
That's how you
in
played your
November.
first show. You just said at the beginning
Let's
of the
do it, yeah.
podcast. Yeah.
Get a
For
sh-
LPT,
get-
that was the
yeah.
first time that you played together.
Get a
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
Because you're like, he booked a show.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
was
play
like,
it.
let's do it.
You got to do it. Yeah.
So that works for me as like a work, like if I'm just like nebulously like, oh, I got to finish this, and then,
Nothing will get done.
But if I'm
Right.
like, oh shit, I have 5 weeks to orchestrate 8 songs, Steve was already done. I'm like, all right, and it really makes you dig in,
Yeah.
I don't find it, me personally, as a hindrance. I feel like it would be if someone was like, all right, you gotta get this done in 2 weeks, or else you're fucking
Right.
fired and you suck. Like.
Yeah, you suck.
But we're in our own nucleus. He's holding me accountable. I'm holding him accountable. We have the rest of the guys who are like lined up to, we're like, oh, we got these charts. We're almost ready. So I'm a firm believer in setting deadlines, but absolutely our own deadlines.
We've been blessed and lucky enough to always have our hands on the wheel.
The importance of artists setting their own deadlines cannot be understated. It is-
Absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's, you talk about, and I apologize to interrupt
Not
you,
at
but
all,
it's
not at
one
all.
of those things where, like, look, if somebody else is setting a deadline for you, or somebody else is selling an expectation for you, they're gonna, number one, they're gonna hold you to it, and number two, you are really setting yourself up for failure. You know what I'm saying? In this in any business, in anything that has to do with the arts, or really anything, put your hands on the wheel and keep your hands on the wheel. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? but you're living in a fantasy if you think that, you know, somebody's going to come in and you're going to sit in the back of the car and they're going to drive you around, you know what I'm saying?
So true, man.
You're living in a fantasy. That's not the case, man, you know what I'm saying? And
if you sit there and wait, then
yeah, and you're just going to sit there and wait till they get you to where you got to go? Put your hands on the wheel, man.
I think a lot of people think because, you know, like most of us in the world, we've all worked jobs and we've all had managers tell you what you got to do at a certain time. And then I think a lot of people have this mentality like, you know, well, somebody's going to tell me what's got to be done when it's got to be done. And when you're running any business, this is not just for musicians. This is just any business in general. You have to set, like, nobody's going to tell you what you got to do with your own product or service or vision, right? You have to actually just set that yourself and hold yourself to that. Because if you don't, it's never going to happen.
I mean, this album number 2 came because we were so bummed during COVID. So COVID, you know, I know it hurt a lot of people, and I'm not diminishing anybody else's pains, but we had just released Sin Parar at the end of January. We were about to go to New York. We're about to go to Miami. We're going to play like 3 shows in New York, right? Miami, all this stuff. All these things.
We're
supposed to play with a Daptone a band.
Yeah.
Orquesta Cocan at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, May 15th.
We were having conversations with promoters in Colombia.
We were all this shit. COVID hit, and I fell into a very sad. I was like, fuck, you know.
Yeah,
so like, you know, during all this COVID shit, we're like, we gotta do this. We gotta, you know, we gotta have something for when this thing come, you know.
Thing's over.
When thing's over, we can
come out the gate swinging
with something, yeah, to, you know. So that from I mean, now a year ago, it's been, you know, we were like, we got to do this. Finally by September, we're like, let's just go hide and see what comes out.
Yeah.
And it worked because we didn't know what was going to happen then.
Yeah.
But we set that goal and that deadline, like, all right, we're going to sit here for a week, whatever happens,
wherever you come out. Yeah.
And we came out with it. And
when did that come out? I was just wondering.
Sin Parar?
Yeah, the second one.
Oh no, the second one's not out yet.
Oh, sorry, no, the first one.
The first one came out
January 31st, 2020.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude,
to a sold out show at 1904.
Oh, it was an amazing show.
It was
what a party.
A hell of a party. You know what I'm saying? It was fantastic.
I was reading an article about Jason Honeycutt today, and y'all's picture was the one on it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
The Void did a write-up about Jason Honeycutt.
Yeah.
Jesse Honeycutt is a G, man.
Oh, yeah, he's the best.
In this business, one of the most genuine people I've worked with in my entire life.
100%, man.
I'm saying, like, I can't sing his praises. I mean, we, you know, as a venue owner and as an operator, it's just like, you're like, yo, I wish there was 50,000 of him.
He's a hell of a drummer. So I'm going to band
he's a great drummer. Right?
Yeah.
With the Greenhouse Lounge getting back together and everything.
Nice.
And an amazing promoter too, I will say.
We all know your opinion, promoters.
I'm just saying that he's one of the good ones.
He's a smart cat, man.
Yeah.
He's a smart cat, and he's got he puts his energy in the positive places, man. 100%. He does good work. So
that's awesome. You sold out 1904 for the album release.
Dude, sold it out.
Fingers for that.
Sold it out, bro. Yeah, I mean, it was. We
so
sold
fun.
it out a week before the show, man, and
dude.
It was a party, dude, and it was such a great moment. Followed by, you know, we went down to Miami. We played a festival in Miami, and we were supposed to play. We played Carnival on the Mile in Miami, and then we were playing Calle Ocho. And Calle Ocho is the biggest live music festival in the United States. And when we were driving down to Miami to play the first festival, we get the call about the second one saying Calle Ocho's not happening, it's all canceled. And then from there it was just
it was like a childhood dream of mine to play that damn.
I mean, who has it not? I mean, you know, it's like it's been insane. So from there, as everything went down, you know,
it hurt.
It was just But I mean, you know, to Angel's point, we were able to pick ourselves up in that and say, yo, you know, we gotta do work. Get up.
No one was telling us to do this shit.
Nobody was. Yeah. So, you know, nobody. We drove it. We put our hands on the wheel, and we said, "No, man, we got to get up. We got to do something. We got to." You know what I'm saying?
So, do you have a release date for the second album, or?
October 15th.
October 15th is that the release date right now?
So you're making your own
That's it.
schedules like you're talking about.
No. He's right.
Somebody's got to do it.
Friday, October 15th, man. Yeah. And we got some really cool things planned.
Awesome.
You know, to be able to do, you know, in the city and it's looking good.
Yeah, we should have a fun release show.
We're gonna have
if everything lines up.
If everything lines up, we're gonna have a hell of a release show for this.
Congratulations on that, guys.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
amazing.
You.
Where are you guys in the release at? You know yet?
Should we say?
Sure, why not?
I guess we'll start promoting it now. Yeah.
I think it's
All
happening.
8 people are gonna see this.
Yeah,
I'm just messing around. He hates when I do that.
We have been talking to the team down at James Weldon Johnson Plaza to do an album release on a Sunday
Hemming Park
afternoon at James Weldon Johnson Plaza, tied into Yaya Productions Latin Music Festival.
Hell yeah.
And Yanita is graciously running a 2-day Latin Music Festival, and
Because of
Sunday is going to be
Salsa Sunday.
the Salsa Sunday, but for
Album
the
release.
city.
Oh, amazing.
So we're going to do it on a citywide scale where we're going to invite the entire town to come out.
And hopefully,
That's
that
amazing.
jam
through
with
the
us.
through the James Weldon Johnson folks will be helping us in the promotion, and hopefully there'll be a lot
production,
of folks out.
promotion. They've
This-
been fantastic.
production.
This will be
all
the clip for IGTV right here, so we can promote their show.
Wow,
Yeah.
so meta right now because we're in the clip now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Well, you can edit this part out of the clip. I'm just saying.
No, I'm keeping it in. This is great.
no. This is it, man. This is so we're planning on something. Our way to say thank you to the city. That
Yeah, it'll be a free show.
you
There'll
know.
be a VIP section for people who want to hang out like
That's
that.
so
but
cool.
That's
So-
amazing.
And I'm so sorry. Where did you say it was one more time? You said
James Weldon Johnson Plaza.
where is that?
It's the old Hemming Plaza. It's downtown.
Oh, I didn't know they renamed it.
Yeah, I didn't know they did.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I felt like an
Johnson
idiot. I'm
Park.
like, is that
Park.
Park.
James
Oh.
Weldon Johnson Park, which was Old Hemming Park.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Okay,
So it's
my bad.
literally the
I didn't know
square
they
right.
changed it.
They changed it probably about 6 months ago.
Okay,
if I'm not
That's-
mistaken.
That's
It
awesome,
might be
man.
more, but
Maybe more.
without
I don't know. Maybe they changed it some time back.
Here's a good question about your album release too.
Yeah.
So, the actual physical merch and everything that
Sure.
you put it out. What did you do before? Did you do?
we did vinyl.
Vinyl
12-inch.
and vinyl pressing, shirts.
I gotta get
all
it.
that
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of stuff.
definitely getting a vinyl one of that. I collect vinyl for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got it.
absolutely.
Just so, do you even bother with CDs anymore though?
You
We
need
did it.
you need CDs
It's
because
so weird. Why do we still need CDs?
Because-
no one buys it. at
well,
all.
not
but
true.
that's
You
what
buy
the
my
Use it. No one uses it.
we
Doesn't matter
sell. We
vinyl.
still sell them at
It
shows.
doesn't make any sense though, right?
We still sell them at shows, but the most important part is that for some reason that's what the press campaigns use. That's what the radio uses.
Yeah, Press Junkie wanted how many? 50 from us?
We
What?
delivered 50
To send out CDs
yeah,
to people.
CDs.
Because they want to hear the music.
How are they
I've
gonna
been-
hear it? No one has a CD player anymore.
I've been
Doesn't make any sense.
I've been uploading to SoundCloud and then setting them to private links
Yeah.
and then just using those to send out to press kits for the press kit now. But yeah, I can see. But people still do ask for that stuff. man.
Radio, honestly,
Yeah.
radio still runs
folks
off
that have
CDs.
been doing this thing for
Really?
20, 25, 30 years. They,
Yeah.
they still use
Radio.
that.
If you want to get on the radio, you better have a CD.
That's
I'm
wild.
still on CDs and everything like that. I got
Yeah.
a 2003 Ford Expedition. That's the only place I can
Nice.
play a CD player though.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're definitely printing at least a small run of CDs.
course.
for
And they're
this
not
Like
one.
you
even
said,
they're not
you
even
have
that,
to.
that bad these days.
No, it's
Yeah.
cheap as hell.
Yeah.
You know, and it's literally it's a promotional tool. You know?
Yeah, totally.
So
Eventually, like, when is CDs gonna reach its fucking end? It should be. At,
It's getting close.
We're
Fi-
way past when it should be over.
I give it another
Hey,
5
but
years.
vinyl came back. Tapes will come back.
I don't think. Well, tapes might go back.
They're trying to. They've been trying to bring tapes back for so long, and I feel
'Cause
bad
they
for
think
them.
that they
Tapes have a little tiny niche out there.
Very
I
tiny
like
niche.
tapes.
They
I
just
mean, when
don't
I was a kid, I
sound
liked
good.
tapes.
They
It's
don't
just,
sound good.
that's the vinyl
Yeah.
sounds
They
good.
sound like
That's
tapes.
why it's been brought back. They're trying so hard
And you
with
get to
tapes to
hold a
bring it
giant
back.
piece of
It's sorry,
artwork
guys,
and
it doesn't
everything.
sound good. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
But I just
I
think
think you
it's-
can re-record over it.
Yeah.
Make
we
your
put
own
a little
tape.
tape on that little notch.
Yeah, put the tape on the notch.
Tape up the knots, dude. Put whatever you want on
I
it.
did that with some
Make
of
a
my mom's
mixtape
tapes
for your
back
girl,
in the days,
you know.
man.
Oh,
All
yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
I used to like wait for that song to come on the radio. Boop, boop, hit the record
You're not
button.
doing tapes though. You're doing vinyl notes.
We are not doing tapes.
No,
That would
I
be
thought
an
about
awful
it.
investment.
You did, yeah. The
We will
salsa tape,
be
that sounds
pressing
great.
vinyl, you know, because
I'll get one
there
of
is
those.
there is a space for it. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
and it's super cool, man.
It is cool.
Getting that test vinyl,
Yeah, it's pretty
that's the
dope.
coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
You know.
I was thinking about doing vinyl too, but man, that's a lot of money.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
You know what? We could afford it if we
Pre-sale.
don't buy CDs. Like it's so easy.
Yeah.
Pre-sale. Yeah, you're right though.
Pre-sale.
Pre-sale
Pre-sale
helps.
What were you saying?
Pre-sale.
What's that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, but
What do
you're
you
a PR nightmare. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you mean like pre-sale the
vinyl.
the vinyl.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see what you're
Pre-sell it.
saying.
Yeah, so-
And then you can know how many you need to.
Exactly.
Oh wow, this is a good business strategy.
Well, not only that, you raise the funds to be able to press
Exactly.
it.
No, I know. I'm just saying I don't know anything about business. I just know music.
Yeah.
He's kind of like that's why we fit so well together. He's the opposite.
Which is funny because I'm awful with numbers and Billy's a numbers guy, but I just know about how the business works. I don't know how to make it actually work though.
Yeah.
It's a good team.
Yeah, we
Um,
with
team,
money.
man.
Yeah.
That's about it.
All right, so obviously the album release is October 15th.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be doing pre-sales for the album, or for the records, or for vinyl.
For the vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll start soon. We're working on that right now.
The first single release and
Yeah.
July.
We're aiming for the first single release at the end of July, so we'll
July
do
31st.
single release and video and all that kind of stuff. And
I love the music video of you guys on the rooftop.
roof.
That's fucking.
You like that
I
one,
love
dude?
that
That was
one.
fun.
It's
That's
so
a fun
fucking
one,
cool.
yeah.
You
That
guys looked so cool.
Yeah.
It's like I was like, God damn it, they look so fucking cool
Thank
up
you,
there.
It's
bro.
funny
Where was that
'cause-
film? That was in Fort Lauderdale, Miami.
No, that was
that was
here.
the
I
roof
was
of
here?
That was the
Intuition.
roof of Intuition.
That
Oh,
didn't look
dope.
like.
I work over there, and I was like, hey guys, do you think we could shoot a little music video on the roof?
That was an Intuition. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
And they were like, yeah, sure. And I show up, man. There's like a generator, a box
Production
truck,
trucks,
all this shit,
like
all these
lights,
people.
like 4 cameras and all this. We're
I'm
like,
sorry, guys. I
Oh
didn't
my
mean to-
god.
All these people, but Intuition was stoked. They're like, oh, this is awesome. We never have, all this
that
going
looked.
on.
That looked. I showed my girlfriend. I was like,
It was
they
very
look
fun.
So legit. That was really really great.
Thank you.
There's there's a
We got a lot of good views on that thing, dude.
Do you want to put it in the podcast for a little clip of it?
Yeah,
Yeah, the little clip.
Here you go. What's the name of the song? I forget.
Los Bravos.
Here you go. Here's a couple seconds of Los Bravos. I can't do that.
Weba.
um,
Como hay guapos por ahí, así se creen. Son más rollo que película, que barbaridad, la verdad. Y es que son un paquete maní. No los comemos todos sin sal, sin pensar. Montón de feos, no les creo. Quedan mal si vinieron a buscar. Cojan calle, los vamos a cerrar. Oh, que la calle está dura por aquí. Porque cuentas hay que dar y detallar. No sean brutos, estén seguros antes de brincar de un paso. Vamos por aquí, no van a avanzar. Denegamos convicción de corazón, un entierro y tú sin velar, y velará que el que pide un poco de caldo, 2 tazas le dan. Por aquí, es que por aquí, es que por aquí, no hay nada para ti, no te queda nada más que sufrir. Por aquí, se creen que son guapos, que pueden janguear, no hay nada para pero no se merecen un día más. Por aquí, es que por aquí, es que por aquí, no hay nada para ti, solo son un paquete de maní. Por aquí, empaca lo que trae eso y echa pa' allá, no hay nada para ti, que los bravos no dejan nada.
and we're back.
Oh my god,
that was an amazing video, guys.
I told you, how great was that, right? They're on the roof and they're just hanging out.
Yeah. So, fuck. I had something I was gonna say, but as usual, Billy threw me off.
Sure.
Sorry.
Oh no, what I was gonna say is that there's a handful of bands in Jacksonville I think are really doing the thing the right way, and you guys are definitely one of them.
Thank you.
So
Thank
we
you,
really
brother.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
guys
Thank you.
being on and helping lend some more legitimacy to what we're doing here.
Oh, please,
Oh,
man.
so-
Thank you for having us,
Yeah.
dude. This is,
This is awesome.
Just any chance to talk to like-minded folks about what we do, and it's just fantastic,
Hell yeah, man.
That's what we're trying to do. Like he said, just try to bring everybody that on the same wavelength.
We have
together.
a special scene here in Jacksonville, man. A lot of real talented
A lot of
folks and
talent out here.
really
sure.
good, hardworking people, and I mean that's what's kept me here. I've been here for 15 years now, so it's just there's so many awesome folks to work with and bounce ideas off and try to make things happen, and it's a little easier here than like New York because you know, or bigger cities. You know, we a little slower pace and like we have
cheaper to live.
We got room to do stuff.
But
so.
we have so many people that are just charged, man. You know what I'm saying? They want to see things happen. They make things happen. And
Totally.
That always encourages things, to move forward, man. So I mean,
especially when you're looking in the right places in Jacksonville, man. It really
Yeah,
is
they
that.
gotta
It's
do
like
it too,
like it can. I can definitely. I went through a phase where I was like, man, like where. Where are the people trying to do the big things? But once I started just digging a little bit, I was like, oh, I found the people that I need to be, working with and stuff.
It's a great home base too.
Yeah, totally,
makes
totally.
good sense, man.
It is.
All right, so let's do unpopular opinions.
Yeah, it's a good podcast, man. Very informative.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Shit, where did my phone go?
Thank you for having us, dude. This has been a good conversation. Hopefully, it's not too long.
No.
I love the long stuff, man.
Gotcha.
When it's a longer podcast, it means it was a good conversation.
This is a great conversation.
Yeah, dude.
Where
all
my
right.
phone went? So maybe. Hang on.
I'm gonna go ahead and do my first one. While Bill, they know I explained to them already. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're ready.
Billy's
Maybe.
fucking just being super irresponsible today. I'm sorry for him, guys. I
don't
apologize.
think so.
I take responsibility for him. I'm sorry.
Billy has lost his phone, people.
Well, all
Somebody
right.
out there call him. Somebody out there give him a call right now.
Give him a
Yeah,
call
somebody
right
give him
now.
a call right now. Actually, I could call you.
Right now.
That'd be nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is real life happening.
This is real life, guys. We're not gonna edit this out. This is. I almost called my girlfriend because I have to call her phone all the time when she loses it on a regular basis. As
You
well.
got it.
You found it? All right, never mind. All right, so first unpopular opinion for me is working from home is overrated.
Yeah, no shit, man. I've only been doing it for 10 years. It's awful.
Any chance that I get, I go to a coffee shop and just sit down and work because I don't get distracted with, my dog or the television or my guitars
Sure.
or anything. It's like, because there's a lot, as you guys know, there's a lot of admin stuff that needs to be done. If you're, so especially when you're in the process of releasing a record, and it's easy to, we're musicians, we're not marketing people or social media people.
Right. We're learning to do this as we go too. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's a changing landscape, and you have to adapt.
We have to adapt, and we have to, for me, I have to take myself away from the music stuff sometimes. I'm like, man, my guitar's right there and I have an idea. Or maybe there's like a riff in my head or I want to practice this thing that I heard the other day. I have to get myself away from all that because I have things that need to be done so that shit can get heard by people,
Sure.
So.
Are you saying it's working from home is overrated?
Oh, it's overrated.
What do we do? What do we do now? We chime in and agree or disagree?
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
you can agree, you can disagree.
You agree with what he is saying? Because you're not supposed to.
Oh.
It's supposed to be an unpopular
That's
opinion.
unpopular opinion, yeah.
Oh, unpopular opinion.
I would, everybody
I
else.
don't know. I kind of agree with part of it. I mean, so
Yeah.
damn, my bad, dude. It's
No,
kinda, yeah. I
No,
think-
that's on him.
Oh,
That's on him. He didn't do a good one.
yeah.
That's
No,
a good one. I feel like a lot of people think working from home is great.
I do
No.
like working from home, but goddamn, at the end of the day, I'm just like, I'm still at home. I want to go do something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's another part of it.
So yeah,
for
I
sure.
think. All right, whatever. I'll just move on to the next one.
You get a point, dude.
Yeah.
Is that the point
yeah.
system?
Yeah, here's a point. Sure.
My first one is no matter what anyone has ever said about his playing, I think Anton's really good at guitar. And that's the most unpopular opinion I think we've ever come up with.
That is unpopular. I get accolades.
Gets worse on
but-
here, by the way. Keep going. That's one though.
It just gets or is this a ragging on me unpopular opinion day or what?
What episode are we on? 47, 48?
always the same
I
thing?
can't remember what it is.
So
let's do it.
well, though I don't fancy myself the greatest guitar player in the world. I
didn't say
like
that.
what I do, bro. I'm just saying it works for some people.
I think you're really good at guitar.
Uh-huh. I can hear the sarcasm in your voice.
No, I wrote it down without sarcasm.
Without sarcasm.
There's no sort of inflection or anything. Anyways, what's your second one?
I do what I do. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
saying.
do.
That's all we can do.
That's that was my favorite thing that Joe Rogan was saying with Gary Clark Jr. on his podcast one day, and Rogan was like, "You're just like the fucking like greatest guitar player in the fucking planet. You're sitting here humbling yourself, and Gary Clark just goes like, I do what I do. I thought that was the best answer to that because it's like you're not downplaying yourself, but you're also acknowledging that this guy's not a musician who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure. And he's just like, I do what I do, and that was the best answer.
On that note, real quick, it's important to always be real with yourself. Know your limitations, know your weaknesses, know your strengths.
100%.
And be real with yourself. You know, not try to like, shred some shit that you can't shred, or like, shred the shit that you can shred.
Yeah, exactly. Especially at a jam or something like that. Just like do what you do, and then save the shed.
It's easier said than done.
It is. I'm constantly trying to go for shit that I can't I can't nail. You know.
Good for you.
Yeah, you gotta search.
Yeah, you have to search, and I think
it's better done at home.
Yeah, it's better done at home. But also a jam, a jam at if you're like Funky Mondays or whatever that they do at Headroom now. I'll go there and I'll reach for shit that I don't know how to reach for, because I feel like a jam is like where you're probably not like that is the place to try to explore shit.
Yeah, expand. Yeah.
But I do agree. Most of the time, leave that shit at home for sure.
Yeah, you're a really good guitar player. We all agree.
Okay, shut the fuck up. All right. So my second one is I hate filters that make people look younger on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, that shit should be illegal, man. It's weird.
Sucks, dude.
It's weird, right?
I like that take. Yeah, it does definitely suck.
This is a popular opinion.
All this weird. What is it?
You're over 2, Tony.
All those filters suck.
The what do they call it? Where you can look like someone else. You can
make
people talk. Deepfake. Man, that shit should be illegal. That's fucking.
That shit should be illegal.
Babylon, dog.
It is technically like it's not slander, but it's the other one that's
defamation.
illegal. Yeah, defamation of character.
So, you have an opinion on it?
No, I agree with you. I think that shit's weird and sucks.
That shit's weird as fuck, especially when I see dudes that I used to like jam with back in the day that were older than me at that time, and I see them on like TikTok and they have that shit on their face.
Anton, I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I think a lot more people agree with that, dude.
I feel like we live in. I disagree. Because I go on Instagram and TikTok a lot, and I see people using the filters a lot. I think that we're in a microcosm of people that just agree with each other on this. Maybe I actually think that it's popular to use those filters.
That is true.
Because you one time said that you like. He one of his unpopular opinions was that he liked TikTok, and I was like, maybe amongst a group that's not popular, but amongst the world, it's an extremely popular app.
Sure.
So
the world loves TikTok. All right, here's my second one. If angels didn't have wings, then I think I found my savior, and that is Saint Jorge Antonio, the greatest singer I've ever had the blessing of listening to, bar none. Praise the Lord.
Okay, this is a shitting on me day. This is fun.
I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
Okay, sorry. So my real name is Jorge LaPlume, right? So that's why
Jorge Antonio LaPlume.
Jorge Antonio LaPlume. Yep. And so this is our dynamic. Is that he's basically shitting on me as a singer right now. Also, while shitting on me as a guitar player, and that's just what we do.
I love it.
Yeah, that's our dynamic. It makes people very uncomfortable.
I feel bad. You're a guest in my home, and I'm just like, you have no idea what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. I'm lost, man.
To embrace it,
we have to embrace it.
Yeah, it's just embrace it. This is our dynamic. We just shit on each other the whole time, basically.
Right on.
Are you done?
I'm finished. The steak's done.
Okay. So my last unpopular opinion is that throw pillows can go to hell. I'm sorry, ladies. I know you like them. I can't stand them.
Nah, man, you're wrong there, dude.
Now, wait, are you talking about on the bed or on the couch?
Just anywhere. They can all just go to hell.
No,
I don't like them on the bed. That's just annoying because you don't use.
You don't use them.
On the couch, they like they're fun, dude. You can lean on them.
If you got too many, though.
I mean, that's throw pillow abuse. You know what I mean?
Pillow abuse.
Pillow abuse. You gotta have the right amount where you can
balance.
You gotta have the one that you kind of like lean on and get comfy with. And
you need different size pillows.
And you need one that's like the one you lay on, because I mean, like
you don't lay on a throw pillow. You just get a regular pillow for that.
No, well, yeah, but you bring a pillow into the couch to watch a movie?
I'll do that shit.
Actually, this thing.
I bring my comforter out there.
I have a projector, and I have 2 pillows and a comforter.
But is it your like sleep stuff?
This whole thing turns out into a bed, and we just watch movies. Me and my girlfriend here all the time.
Should we be sitting on this couch?
Probably not. It's kind of gross.
I sleep with 6 pillows.
6 pillows?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Good
too
for
many,
you.
bro.
Yeah, he's on my side.
Good for you.
I mean, I wish I could sleep with 6 pillows, but
You
it's
gotta be
still too
comfortable,
many.
man.
Be fighting them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need one. Or sorry, I sleep with 2. One for my head, and then one that I just keep like around. I hug on at night.
That's adorable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
gotta
I
have
can't
one,
I
yeah.
can't do the warmth of another human being
Man.
because he
Alright.
also says that I'm reptilian, so that was a
Yeah,
funny
long
thing.
running joke. All right, let's wrap this up. This has been a long one. I've got a really funny thing to say, but it's not a popular opinion. But the last one that I wrote down was I don't think you can really call yourself a guitarist if you can't do a guitar flip.
You can't do a guitar flip.
Yeah.
What's a guitar flip?
You know, have you seen like in like old school rock stars? They would like flip their guitar around their body and then catch
Yeah.
it and then play it
Oh,
at the
on
same
their
time.
on their strap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like kind of like woo.
You gotta-
Yeah, flip
you
it around
gotta
their
have
body.
Strap locks, man.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have strap on.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
those. My guitar falls off me just while I'm holding it.
Yeah.
Happens all the time on stage. It's really annoying.
Yeah, that is true.
What kind of guitar are you playing?
An SG.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
But if you got
Beautiful.
guitar locks on it or
Strap
strap locks,
locks.
I mean, sorry. Do you think you could flip it?
I wouldn't try to flip it
Why not?
because it's kind of a useless thing to do.
See, that's a popular opinion, I suppose.
That's an unpopular opinion. All right.
All right, so what do you guys think? You guys got your unpopular opinions?
About guitar locks?
Just
or
whatever you
SGs?
want.
Yeah, you
What-
you both get one. Sorry, we get 3 because we're so good.
What do you got an unpopular opinion? Let me
I thought
see
you
it.
said you explained this to them.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Apparently not.
I like pineapple and onion on pizza at the same time.
Oh,
Boom.
God, that's such
Boom.
a bad
That's
combo.
gross.
Boom.
That's
That's
gross.
unpopular, right?
That's
That's
very
very
unpopular.
Am I
unpopular.
gonna lie to you, dude? I can mess with that though.
I know you
You
can.
know what I'm saying? I guess maybe that's where we get down. I
Don't
don't
put
know.
fruit on pizza. Just call it a
Dude,
day.
Yeah, it's
pineapple's
cold as
money,
death.
Fruit
dude.
and onion.
And onion.
Put watermelon on pizza next?
I would.
You know what I'm saying?
Put cherries on pizza.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I don't know.
gross.
Pizza is pretty man. So I don't know.
Although
Let me see.
tomatoes on pizza is not bad though. That's a fruit.
It's a
Boom.
vegetable.
It's a fruit.
Fruit?
It has seeds in it. Bill.
Pizza's a vegetable.
Pizza.
Yeah. It's
That's-
my favorite
isn't-
vegetable.
Isn't that
It's
what
my
it,
favorite
what the
vegetable.
FDA said when they were that pizza's
Yeah.
a vegetable now
That's the dumbest thing I've
gentlemen.
ever heard.
or something like that?
Bill just said pizza is a vegetable.
Yeah.
That's a good vegetable.
he's from Wilmore, Kentucky. You'll have to excuse him.
Yeah.
Again, I apologize for him.
No, not at all. Let me see. Do I have an unpopular opinion? Oh man,
Dude, you got
I'm sure you
I
do.
probably have a lot of them.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna
quite.
try to think of one for you.
Please do.
We're gonna break down these PC walls that Josue has got
Oh
going
my
on.
god, dude. So yeah, get the
Good
real.
luck.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion.
Scotch.
Yeah.
That's what we should have got.
Scotch is the that is the
I
key.
didn't know you were a Scotch guy. I would've
Oh
asked.
man, let me see. What's an unpopular? I'm trying to think of one right now through the haze of my mind. As far as like unpopular opinion. God, I'm drawing a blank, gentlemen.
Scotch is good. That's an unpopular
That's
opinion.
Scotch is good.
I'm not a big
Scotch is
Scotch guy.
always
To be
I
honest.
like. I'm not.
Aqua
against it.
Vitae, dude. Yeah, Scotch is the drink of the gods. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Scotch
So
is amazing.
I'm more of a
You know
bourbon
what
guy.
though? If you
Yeah.
say that in Kentucky, like to bourbon, like just
They probably
enthusiasts,
crucify me down
yeah,
there.
they're like, oh,
I'm
drink
brown
Scotch.
too. They probably I don't know about that.
It's all good out there. I would just say more than anything is Scotch. Just you say Scotch tastes better.
Gotcha. I don't know.
That's a good one. I'm
Unpop-
trying to help you out.
and I got one. Unpopular opinion is don't tell a musician he's good if he's not.
Ooh, I like that one's way better than all the ones that I would.
I
tell.
don't know, man. That's
That's
kind of
cool.
like my
Or she, 2021, right? Or them,
Or they, or
2021,
them,
right?
or them.
Everybody.
Yeah.
If don't tell a
All of them.
musician
Don't tell a
they're
musician.
don't tell a musician they're good if they're not good. That's what I mean. That you want to be supportive and all that of somebody. Tell them the truth.
I try really hard to not just say anything, and sometimes I fall victim to that because like somebody gets off stage or whatever, like, hey man, what's going on? And then
gig.
they kind of just stare at you, like waiting for the
For
accolade.
you to tell them like you guys rock.
and I'm just like,
Like, hey man,
you sound good.
Have a great
See
day.
you later. Yeah, you're that guy. You're just gonna walk up and say, like, hey man, what's going on?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
And just walk away.
I'm not gonna lie to
That's
you.
the worst feeling that I get in the world.
Yeah.
When a musician comes up to me after I've just played, they're like, "Hey, man," and just walks away. I'm just like, "Oh, fuck you."
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't. And I don't know. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion. Maybe
No,
we
no,
should
it's
do
good.
A little bit more.
That's how it should be.
more
You're right.
callous with people, or not callous, or less callous with people, and just be like, I don't know. I just
No, that's how it should be. I
unpopular
agree.
opinion, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell people the truth.
I agree with that. I like that.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, where he gets in trouble for not saying thank you for your service to the guy who got back from Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else says it, and then he won't, and that's basically the same.
Yeah,
fucking
Larry
thing,
David.
basically.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
I don't know. Thank you for your service on stage, person.
That's what it feels like
Yeah.
after you get off
Thank you
stage.
for your service.
Yeah, thank you for your service on stage.
How many times after you get off stage does somebody, like after one show, I want to have a counter from now on how many times people say good gag or great set, great set,
Great
great
set.
set.
It loses a lot of its actual weight, when you hear it so much, and not only that, but there's a lot of you can I'm gonna stop talking.
No, go.
talking.
No, let's do it. Let's do it.
No.
Come on, I dug myself a hole deep enough for all of us
build
tonight.
up a lot
However,
of unnecessary people's egos, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things where unpopular opinion. Tell people the truth. There you go.
yeah.
I think it'd be even funnier to like tell somebody who's like bad, like really get their ego up just for fun. That's way funnier to me.
It's like, bro, that was literally the best thing I ever heard in my life. He's like botched a set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, that was so good.
But I'm evil, so.
That's what I do for you after gigs, right?
See, there you go.
You guys are like married, dude.
Yeah.
You should-
It's getting bad at this point.
So last year, it was almost 2 years ago now. Wow, where we had our friend Adam Kenaway, bass player from Bonnie Blue, and a couple
Adam's
other
awesome.
bands. He's awesome, man. He did a run with us out to New Orleans when our bass player couldn't make it, and the dynamic is I drive during the day, Billy drives overnight. So, and one of us is co-piloting. Aaron and Sean take the back seat in the van. So Adam was back there on this trip, and we were driving, and Billy and I just do what we do, just going back and forth, just arguing over, bickering over shit. And Adam's just sitting there, was like, "This is literally exhausting." I'm just like,
I think you guys are lucky to have a friendship like that. That's a very rare thing. You know what
it
I'm
is.
saying?
It is
Yeah,
rare.
you're lucky,
Yeah.
So
dude.
you should.
I fucking
You're lucky.
birthed
No,
you,
you're
bro.
lucky.
That's it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, and this is the bottom of the bill.
Yeah.
This is the bottom bill.
That's what we do too. If you'd like to say goodbye to everybody, we've been having like our own
Sure.
scripted thing. But yeah, say goodbye to everybody that's watching it.
Thank you very much for listening to us and talk trash here for the last God knows how long. And you know what I'm saying?
Josue, Angel, you're great guys. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so
thanks
much.
for having us,
Thank you
guys.
for having
Hell
us,
yeah.
brother. Thank you.
Thanks for being here,
Adios,
guys.
Chapters.